Chapter 1821. He won't die inside, will he? Inside the Zon Iron secret realm, Lin Mo didn't know how long he had been cultivating. Time had lost its meaning at this moment. He was tireless, cycling through the monotonous process again and again. The progress of his physical body was very slow, but fortunately it never stopped, constantly progressing. Cultivation is like this, it's not about who goes faster, but who can persevere to the end and go the farthest. The Divine King Golden Body increased from being able to last only 3 seconds initially to now being able to last 30 seconds, a full 10-fold increase. After the Divine King Golden Body collapsed, the vibration force of the iron powder would take several minutes to grind the physical body to pieces. His physical body realm had already reached Divine King 4th level from Divine King 2nd level. The cycle time was getting longer and longer, but the effect was getting worse and worse. Lin Mo knew that he should continue to go deeper. He could sense that in the depths of the iron powder red clouds, there was a more majestic power, a more intense vibration. This vibration, like knives and swords, rubbed and cut the physical body. As long as he could withstand it, he could continue to cultivate. Until these vibrations could no longer cause damage to his body, then he would reach his limit. Lin Mo began to go deeper, flying towards the depths of the red clouds. Countless iron powder flew over, vibrating violently around Lin Mo. When vibrating, they made sounds like metal rubbing. Lin Mo didn't know how deep the iron powder red clouds were, he only knew that after advancing several thousand meters, the vibration of the iron powder intensified. A large number of wounds appeared on his skin again, and severe pain also came from his bones. Lin Mo stopped, slowly took a breath, and inhaled some of the iron powder, giving himself a double dose of ice and fire. Blood quickly appeared on his face, and all over his body, turning him into a bloody man again. But the look in his eyes under the blood was extremely clear, full of vigor. Lin Mo looked at the depths of the red clouds, where a ball of red flame was burning. The red flame vibrated extremely violently, vibrating millions of times per second. When it jumped, it continuously released special energy, like a rule, restricting countless iron powder within a certain area, and making these iron tokens vibrate continuously like himself. There were many such red fires in the iron powder red clouds. This red fire should not be the core. In the core, there should be something else. Through the eyes of his soul, Lin Mo saw ancient runes contained in the red fire. At the same time, Zon Iron Essence existed inside, and the Zon Iron Essence became the fuel for the red fire. Lin Mo's heart was as clear as a mirror, and he knew his next goal. When the iron powder here was no longer effective, he should go to find the red fire, let the red fire burn him, and continue to cultivate his physical body with the help of the red fire. Finding a way to continue improving, Lin Mo was in a great mood. When his physical body was about to collapse, white light flickered, and majestic vitality appeared, healing his physical body. Then came a new round of cycles. Here, the vibration and cutting force of the iron powder had increased, the cycle time had shortened, and the efficiency had improved. But compared to the initial cycle once every 10 seconds, it was still several times slower. Lin Mo was not in a hurry. Along the way, he deeply understood a truth. Take steady steps, and make sure every step is solid. Outside the secret realm, a group of divine kings were full of doubts. Lin Mo has been in the secret realm for almost 30 days, right? Why hasn't he come out yet? Yes, if it's just to complete the task, 2 or 3 days would be enough. If it's for body refining, it will be a little slower, but normally it would only take 10 days or half a month. Could there be another possibility, that he died inside? Impossible, with his strength, it is impossible to die inside. That's hard to say, what if he encounters the red fire inside? That's right, even divine venerables have to avoid the red fire, and they will die if they have bad luck. Everyone felt confused. After Lin Mo entered the secret realm, there was no movement at all. So, all kinds of guesses were born. Some people thought that Lin Mo had been refining his body in the secret realm, and some people thought that Lin Mo had died inside. But no matter which guess, there was no actual evidence. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, Lin Mo had been in the secret realm for 50 days. According to the records of the Zon Iron secret realm, the person who had been refining his body inside for the longest time was only 48 days. Lin Mo had already broken the record. But everything had to wait until Lin Mo came out to be sure. If Lin Mo really died inside, this record would not count. In the secret realm, Sharp friction sounds constantly came from the iron powder red clouds. It was as if countless knives were cutting something. The metallic friction sound was very harsh, but Lin Mo, as the source of the sound, didn't care at all. Finally reached the limit, the iron powder could no longer cause any damage to him. Whether it was skin, flesh, bones, or internal organs, the iron powder had lost its effect. His physical body had officially reached Divine King 6th level. This level of physical body was already comparable to many peak Divine Venerables. Only the physical body of the other shore realm could surpass Lin Mo. Iron powder body refining had reached its limit, and the next step was red fire body refining. Lin Mo calculated the time, and it had been exactly 50 days since he entered the secret realm. Improving 4 levels in 50 days, if people knew this speed, it would definitely scare a large number of people to death. 0 seeking flowers. Others here might have to spend most of the day on each cycle, and most of the time was used to restore the physical body. Unlike him, he completed a cycle in just 10 seconds at the beginning. Compared to 10 seconds in most of the day, the difference was as high as 1,000 times. His 50 days was the equivalent of hundreds of years for others. And later, the efficiency of the iron powder decreased, and the cycle time became longer. If it were someone else, the time would also increase exponentially, and the difference would only be greater. And the risk was not at the same level at all. One mistake in control for others could lead to death. If you really want to calculate it carefully, his harvest in 50 days is more than others' harvest in 1,000 years. In 1,000 years, as long as their talent isn't bad, they can cultivate from God King rank 1 to God King rank 9. The danger is also so high. The difficulty of body refining far exceeds that of the soul. 0. Lin Mo Yu took a deep breath, inhaling a large amount of iron powder, and a violent friction sound immediately rang out in his body. He then spat out all the iron powder and looked at the crimson fire 10,000 meters away. Hopefully, you won't disappoint me. Arriving in front of the crimson fire, he reached out and touched it. The God King golden body completely collapsed in just 1 second. The strength of the crimson fire far exceeded Lin Mo Yu's imagination. The crimson fire pulsated violently, the flames like knives, instantly drilling in along his fingers. With violent vibrations, it penetrated his skin and flesh, drilled into his bones, and then entered his internal organs. It instantly merged into every inch of his body. An intense burning sensation swept through his body in an instant, and Lin Mo Yu turned into a fire person in an instant. Lin Mo Yu's whole body was shaking violently. At this moment, he became the second crimson fire. Under the violent high temperature and terrifying vibration, countless cracks appeared in Lin Mo Yu's body, but no blood flowed out. All the blood was dried up. In just 3 seconds, his physical body had reached its limit and was about to collapse. White light lit up, and a majestic life force flowed throughout his body. It's different from before. It can't be dispelled. Lin Mo Yu was shocked. The law failed to dispel the crimson fire immediately. The crimson fire was still burning fiercely, continuing to destroy his physical body. The undying law continued to heal his physical body, while the crimson fire continued to destroy his physical body. The two seemed to be competing for speed, to see who was stronger and faster. Lin Mo Yu didn't panic, and there was a hint of joy in his heart. This is even better, more efficient. He continuously urged the law to contend with the crimson fire. 1 second his body was burned and cracked by the crimson fire, and the next second the power of life healed the wound. The two forces used Lin Mo Yu's physical body as a battlefield, and the flames of war spread to every corner of his physical body. The physical body was also rapidly improving in this state. Chapter 1822. The Origin of the Profound Iron Secret Realm. Lin Mo Yu was in pain and happiness. From head to toe, from the inside to the outside, every inch of his body, every second, was enduring severe pain. This pain went straight to the soul and was unavoidable. Fortunately, Lin Mo Yu was already used to pain. Although his brows were furrowed, he could at least endure it. The crimson fire was transformed from ancient runes, using the essence of profound iron as fuel, and its terrifying degree was unimaginable. Even if Lin Mo Yu fully urged the undying law, with a 100% control, he could only barely contend and maintain a relative balance. He was also a little fortunate in his heart that he came here after becoming a minor god venerable. If he had come earlier, and the control of the law was less than 100%, and the effect of the power of life was not as good as it is now, then he would not be able to withstand the burning of the crimson fire at all. The strength of the physical body continued to increase between destruction and repair. Compared to using iron powder for cultivation before, the speed of improvement was faster, but it was also more dangerous. Experiencing the improvement of the physical body, Lin Mo Yu's heart was constantly filled with insights. For most people, using iron powder to cultivate the physical body to God King rank 6 is the limit. It's no wonder that the path of physical body cultivation has declined. It is indeed too difficult. I don't know how the cultivators in ancient times tempered their physical bodies. They should also have their own methods. After all, this kind of forced improvement method is not suitable for everyone. Lin Mo Yu felt that, apart from himself and cultivators who mastered the law of life, no one else could use crimson fire to cultivate their physical body. The horror of the crimson fire would be troublesome even for god venerables. Borrowing the power of the Lost Star River might be able to dispel the crimson fire, but in the process of dispelling it, the physical body would also be severely damaged. As for minor god venerables and god kings, encountering crimson fire was basically a death sentence. 10 days later, the physical body improved again, reaching god king rank 7. At this time, Lin Mo Yu discovered that the damage of the crimson fire to him had weakened a lot. The power of life began to gain the upper hand, and the healing speed surpassed the destruction speed of the crimson fire. Lin Mo Yu had a flash of inspiration, put away some of the power of life, and let the two continue to maintain balance. The physical body needs to grow in constant destruction and repair, and the easiest way is to maintain balance. Lin Mo Yu continued to enjoy the pain brought by the crimson fire, and found happiness from the pain. Sometimes, Lin Mo Yu felt that he had masochistic tendencies. It seemed that this problem had existed since he started cultivating. In order to become stronger, he constantly self-harmed, and he didn't know how many times he had been actively killed. Thinking about it makes him feel sad. 20 days later, the physical body reached God King rank 8. The damage of the crimson fire weakened again, and Lin Mo Yu also took the initiative to reduce the power of life to continue to maintain balance. The effect of the crimson fire is getting weaker and weaker. It is estimated that reaching God King rank 9 is the limit. For the last step, we need to find another method. Lin Mo Yu's goal was to improve his physical body to minor God Venerable. When he advanced to God Venerable, his physical body would also advance to God Venerable together, achieving a perfect advancement. If he couldn't achieve a perfect advancement, then everything he had done would be greatly reduced in significance. His gaze turned to the depths of the iron powder crimson cloud. Although he couldn't see it, he could feel that it was the center of the crimson cloud. There, he might get the answer. Body refining was still continuing. 30 days later, Lin Mo Yu's whole body was shining with golden light. The golden light shrouded his whole body like armor. He finally reached God King rank 9. This level of physical body was already comparable to the other shore realm. After the physical body entered God King rank 9, the crimson fire completely lost its effect. Even if Lin Mo Yu stood in the crimson fire and let it burn, it would not cause any damage. Now, 110 days have passed since he entered the instance. He was only one step away from his goal. Relying on his feeling, Lin Mo Yu flew towards the depths of the crimson cloud. The iron powder became more and more dense, and his vision was completely blocked. Even if he used the eye of the soul, he couldn't see anything. He could only rely on his feeling to find the direction. Fortunately, Lin Mo Yu often came into contact with ancient runes, and he was very familiar with the aura of ancient runes. In his judgment, the existence in the depths of the crimson cloud should be a broken ancient rune. As long as he followed the aura of the ancient rune, he would not be wrong. Close. The aura of the ancient rune became more and more intense, and Lin Mo Yu knew that he had found the right direction. The moment he left the mist, Lin Mo Yu felt a sense of enlightenment. This was a space of tens of thousands of meters in radius, with no iron powder, no crimson clouds. In its center was a star, a burning sun. The entire star emitted crimson light and released terrifying heat. Standing here, even god venerables would be melted. A huge suction force came from the star, trying to pull Lin Mo Yu over. It was this force that drew a circle as a prison, forming the iron powder crimson cloud. Lin Mo's eyes showed shock as he saw the essence of the star through his soul eyes. It's not just the star, there are other stars. I understand, this is how black iron actually came to be. Lin Mo finally understood the origin of the black iron secret realm. When the ancient talisman was evolving the secret realm, it just so happened that a star entered the secret realm and became a member of the secret realm. Along with the star, other stars also entered, and it just so happened that this star was entirely composed of steel. The high temperature of the star completely refined the steel star into black iron. During the refining process, the steel star exploded, with some ordinary steel. The ancient talisman reduced the size of the star, only retaining the essence, which made the temperature of the star even more terrifying. At the same time, the ancient talisman brought violent vibrations, forming a pattern of iron powder and red clouds. Under the interaction of the star and the ancient talisman, after countless years of evolution, the black iron secret realm was finally formed. Now, the ancient talisman has merged with the star, and the entire star is rapidly vibrating at an alarming frequency. Lin Mo could no longer imagine how terrifying this star was. Even if he now had the body of a ninth-order god king, he couldn't guarantee that he could be safe and sound. What surprised Lin Mo the most was not only this, he saw a white light in the deepest part of the star. White dwarf. Lin Mo thought of the upgraded version of ordinary stars, the rare white dwarf. In the human race star field, there is no white dwarf. There used to be, but because white dwarfs are too dangerous, they were moved out of the human race star field by the god sovereigns. The star in front of him seems to have a tendency to transform into a white dwarf. Antares once mentioned that spell stars are not the end point, they can continue to upgrade. The direction of the upgrade is the white dwarf. Fangji was what Antares said, and in a long conversation with How Holy Sovereign, he reaffirmed this point. In the cultivation plan that Lin Mo had made for himself, one step was to find a white dwarf and observe it carefully, 4.7 to see what the white dwarf was like, to provide himself with reference and point out the direction. Lin Mo took a deep breath and began to approach the star. There is no iron powder here, the temperature of the star is too high, and the iron powder that is close to it is also burned into ashes. Those red fires are just some of the parts that it has scattered. When there were still 5,000 meters away from the star, Lin Mo's God King golden body suddenly burst, and then a large number of wounds appeared on his body. Lin Mo stopped on the spot, motionless. The vibration frequency of the star is too fast, causing the entire space to vibrate together. The amazing vibration frequency turned the space into countless sharp knives. During the approach, the body must constantly endure the cutting of space. What a terrible guy, but the more terrible, the better, so that you can improve your body. White light emerged, the power of life heals the wound. Lin Mo approached the star at an extremely slow speed. Chapter 1823, Great Accomplishment of the God King Golden Body. Lin Mo's body continued to appear wounds, the terrible cutting force brought by extreme vibration, vibrating space, penetrated the skin, flesh and bones, and reached the internal organs. Not only did wounds appear on the surface, but wounds appeared in every corner inside and outside the body. If Lin Mo's body was not strong enough, it would have been cut into pieces in an instant. Immortality rule once again fully operated, constantly healing injuries and maintaining balance. The body began to strengthen again, and as the body strengthened, the influence of the cutting force also became smaller. Lin Mo also contracted the law and approached the star. The whole process was very slow, and there could be no impatience. Outside the Divine City star field, in the starry sky only 100,000 kilometers away from Port Star, a special warship suddenly appeared. Its appearance was very abrupt without any sign. It's like a big fish that has been swimming in the deep sea, suddenly flying out of the water. On the warship, the logo of the shell is carved. This is a warship from the Starry Sky Fish People, and the shell is the logo of the Starry Sky Fish People. A 7-colored beam of light shot out from Port Star, covering the warship of the Starry Sky Fish People, guiding them. The 7-colored beam of light is like a ribbon, welcoming the visit of the 06 Starry Sky Fish People. At this moment, it is not the time when the Divine City is open, and Port Star is very quiet, without the lively scene of people coming and going. Heavenly Saint is standing on Port Star, looking at the Starry Sky Fish People who have just appeared through the 100,000-mile starry sky. Heavenly Saint slowly rises into the air, blooming with brilliant golden light, like a scorching sun. His existence is infinitely great and lofty. Holy One's pressure mighty swept out, making it difficult to look directly at. Welcome friends from the Starry Sky Fish People. Heavenly Saint's voice echoed in the starry sky. The warship of the Starry Sky Fish People is approaching, and someone flew out of the warship, making a hearty laugh. Heavenly Saint, I haven't seen you for many years, your style is still the same. How Holy Sovereign also responded with a smile, "It's been many years since we parted, congratulations to Elder G for his further cultivation." G Elder laughed loudly, "I have gained something occasionally, it's nothing." The warship completed docking on Port Star, and a team flew out of the warship. There were not many teams, a total of 100 people. Heavenly Saint made a gesture of invitation, "Everyone, please follow me, our clan has prepared a grand banquet to welcome you and wash away the dust." Outside the Black Iron secret realm, a person appeared in the dark starry sky. How Holy Sovereign's eyes were slightly closed, and with a move of soul power, the discussions of the people outside the secret realm were transmitted to his ears. After a while, he grasped the situation of Lin Mo. "It's been nearly 200 days since I entered, and I haven't appeared yet. Is he still body refining inside?" How Holy Sovereign was thinking about whether to notify Lin Mo. The starry skyfish people have arrived, and he said at the time that he wanted Lin Mo to attend together. But now, Lin Mo is cultivating in the secret realm, and he can't go in and grab Lin Mo out. After thinking about it, he decided to notify Lin Mo. Body refining is not as good as comprehending the law, and it doesn't matter if you are disturbed. Soon he received a reply from Lin Mo. "Wait another half a day." How Holy Sovereign muttered to himself, looking at the information. He can afford to wait for half a day. At the same time, How Holy Sovereign was also a little curious. After 200 days, he didn't know what step Lin Mo had practiced the body refining to. He could see that Lin Mo's previous body had reached the God King realm, and it was in a perfect state, activating the God King golden body. This 200-day body refining will definitely improve. For others, body refining is extremely difficult, but Lin Mo's aptitude is good, so it should be much easier. From How Holy Sovereign's experience, Lin Mo should be able to improve at least 2 levels. How Holy Sovereign waited quietly in the starry sky, and no one noticed his existence. The place where he was like a black hole, devouring all the light. In the secret realm, Lin Mo has stepped into the interior of the star. Extremely terrifying flames wrapped him, trying to burn him to ashes. Cracks slowly appeared in the body in the flames, and then they were quickly healed. At this moment, there is only the last trace of the immortal law, less than 1% of its full strength. Body refining has entered the end, and after nearly 100 days of roasting and burning, Lin Mo has completely adapted to the high temperature of the star and the vibration brought by the ancient talisman. Even if he didn't use the undying laws, he could survive here for a long time with just his physical body. Now, he was only a sliver away from his body fully adapting. Neither the high temperature of the star nor the vibrations of the ancient talisman could harm him anymore. That moment would also mark the official entry of his physical body into the small god Venerable realm. Lin Mo was also feeling a little excited at this moment. He was about to create history again. Since ancient times, no one in the history of the human race had cultivated their physical body to the small god Venerable level. At most, they passively improved their physical body by relying on realm advancements. Lin Mo was very clear that an actively cultivated physical body was completely different from a passively improved one. For him, the small god Venerable physical body was just the beginning, while for others, it was already the limit. Several more hours passed, and the physical body finally fully adapted to the power here. In that instant, the physical body shone with golden light. Lin Mo turned into a golden star, shining together with the nearby star. The golden light, like a sharp sword, pierced through the iron dust red clouds and shone on the secret realm's land. The secret realm's steel land developed countless cracks, as if it had truly been cut by a sharp sword. The golden light grew increasingly intense, and the Divine King golden body truly reached completion at this moment. The light not only cut through the secret realm's land but also pierced through the secret realm. In the starry sky, 10,000 rays of golden light suddenly lit up. The cultivators outside the secret realm cried out strangely and quickly retreated. Some who didn't retreat fast enough were cut by the golden light. What's happening? I don't know. Where did this golden light come from? This golden light is coming from the secret realm. Could there be some kind of mutation occurring inside the secret realm? Secret realm mutation isn't unheard of, but the profound iron secret realm has always been stable. The probability of a mutation occurring is too low, right? No one knew what was happening. The distant Holy Venerable How, however, couldn't suppress the excitement on his face. He murmured continuously, "A golden body like a sword, a golden body like a sword, this is the completion of the Divine King golden body." 593 inches. The Divine King golden body is complete. Heavens, what did this kid do? How did he do it? Is he really planning to cross the river of souls alone, without taking the path of blood? Perhaps there really is a chance to walk the path to divinity, perhaps there really is a chance. Only Holy Venerable Hao himself knew the excitement in his heart. He knew what this meant. The golden light continued to bloom. Outside the secret realm, no one could approach within thousands of miles of the starry sky. Inside the secret realm, Lin Mo felt the surging power coming from his whole body. Is this the power of the completed Divine King golden body? It's really strong. Just with the power of my physical body, I can smash a small god venerable to death with one punch. If it's a god venerable, a few more punches should do the trick. I can really achieve breaking all laws with one punch. He looked at the ancient talisman in the star, and with a thought, he reached out and grabbed the ancient talisman. The ancient talisman was close at hand, so naturally, he couldn't miss it. Boom! The moment he grasped the ancient talisman, the entire secret realm shook violently. The red clouds churned, and a whirlwind swept through the secret realm. The ancient talisman vibrated violently, with a vibration force sufficient to instantly kill a god venerable. Lin Mo ignored the vibration force and firmly grasped the ancient talisman. The power of the completed Divine King golden body was undoubtedly on full display at this moment. The ancient talisman struggled for a moment, as if it knew its fate. It suddenly melted and entered Lin Mo's body, and the golden light became even more intense, several times stronger than before. Chapter 1824. Make an oath, or severe punishment. Intense golden light suddenly burst out from the secret realm. It was like a star exploding, and terrifying light shot out like swords in all directions. Everyone retreated in panic. The golden light came quickly and went quickly, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Everyone looked at each other, unable to figure out what was going on for a moment. Soon, figures appeared outside the secret realm. They were all people who had entered the secret realm before, and they were all confused. How did I get out? I was refining profound iron, how did I get out? I was still training my body, I didn't want to come out. They were all suddenly sent out of the secret realm. Others didn't know, but Holy Venerable Hao knew very well. This kid has cleared another secret realm. ... Inside the secret realm, the ancient talisman merged into his body, and the golden light, several times stronger than before, almost blinded Lin Mo. Fortunately, it only lasted for a second before returning to normal. Then, Lin Mo felt the changes in his body. His blood, bones, and internal organs actually began to vibrate. The entry of the ancient talisman brought about the effect of vibration. The strength of his physical body didn't change, but it now possessed the power of vibration. Lin Mo had a flash of insight and punched forward. The space in front of him suddenly vibrated violently, and dense cracks appeared. The space was almost shattered by his punch. The power of my physical body has been enhanced several times. I feel like a full-force punch could kill a god venerable, Lin Mo felt. With the merged ancient talisman, he felt that he could smash a god venerable to death with the power of his physical body. He originally just instinctively wanted to take the ancient talisman, but he didn't expect such a surprise. The exit of the secret realm appeared before his eyes. Lin Mo knew that Holy Venerable Hao was still waiting for him outside, so he immediately left the secret realm. A familiar aura rushed towards him. Before his vision could recover, he suddenly felt dizzy and the world spinning. Lin Mo didn't panic but instead said, "Holy Venerable, there's no need to be so hasty." Holy Venerable Hao snorted, "You don't know how much commotion you've caused." Huh, Lin Mo didn't understand. He was in the secret realm, how much commotion could he cause? Although he already knew the result, Holy Venerable Hao couldn't help but want to confirm it again. "Has your Divine King golden body reached completion?" Lin Mo hummed, "It has indeed reached completion." Holy Venerable Hao sighed, his tone a little strange, "I really don't know how you did it. When you broke through just now, the light of the Divine King golden body pierced through the secret realm. Fortunately, the people outside the secret realm reacted quickly. If they had been a little slower, I'm afraid there would have been casualties. At that time, you will inevitably be punished." Lin Mo was dumbfounded, "Can you blame me for this?" Holy Venerable Hao snorted, "Rules are rules, they are not made for you alone. Even if there are special privileges, they can't be used whenever you want." "Alright, I'll pay attention next time." Lin Mo was very nonchalant and simply gave up. Holy Venerable Hao continued, the commotion you caused this time is a bit big. I have already issued a gag order. Today's events cannot be spread. Then, Holy Venerable Hao communicated with the Human Emperor Network and then said, the ancient talisman in the secret realm, did you take it away? Lin Mo nodded, I didn't take it, it drilled in by itself. Hao Shungjun gave a sound, alright, this matter isn't important. But you need to tell me in detail what happened inside, without missing a single detail. Even if you didn't say it, I was going to tell you. Lin Mo was very clear about what Hao Shungjun meant. In reality, Hao Shungjun wanted to know how he was refining his body. If possible, he naturally hoped that the human race could also refine their bodies. After all, his body refining method was too efficient, even more so than comprehending laws. A mere 200 days to achieve the great accomplishment of the Divine King Golden Body, the efficiency was terrifying to think about. Lin Mo didn't expect his body refining to be so fast, but he was very clear that his method was difficult to replicate. Even those who grasped the laws of life would not easily be able to do it. The cultivators outside the Profound Iron Secret Realm suddenly discovered that the Profound Iron Secret Realm had disappeared. Just like that, it disappeared without a trace right under their noses. At the same time, they received a message from the Human Emperor Network. Special mission. Everyone, make a great world oath, you must not leak what you saw and heard today. Those who make the oath will be rewarded with 100 points of Divine City merit. Those who do not make the oath will be punished. Everyone present was collectively stunned. The Human Emperor Network would actually issue such a mission. Some smart people realized that what happened today, that ball of golden light, must be extraordinary. There must be a deeper meaning, but they didn't understand. It didn't matter if they didn't understand. Anyway, the Human Emperor Network had already issued the mission and didn't give them any room to choose. Making a great world oath could earn a reward of 100 Divine City merits. If they didn't make it, it was estimated that the punishment would be unbearable. Anyone who wasn't an idiot knew what to choose. One after another, the people present made their oaths. No one tried to challenge the authority of the Human Emperor Network. Those who lived in the Divine City knew how powerful the Human Emperor Network was. Opposing it was tantamount to courting death. Those who made the oath quickly received their rewards, and their faces also looked much better. At this moment, someone suddenly shouted loudly, quickly go look at the announcement. In the Human Emperor Network, a new announcement had just been displayed before the eyes of all the Divine City people. Divine City announcement. Intermediate personnel Lin Mo successfully cleared the Intermediate Secret Realm, Profound Iron Secret Realm. This secret realm will be completely closed from now on, and related missions will also be cancelled. Cleared it again. It seems like no secret realm can stump him, he's really too strong. How did he do it? Clearing a secret realm, is it really that easy? Easy my ass, how many people have died in the Profound Iron Secret Realm? Although it's not considered difficult among the intermediate secret realms, it's not something you can clear just because you want to. I'm not convinced. Lin Mo is indeed awesome. I'm convinced. Lin Mo will be my idol from now on. I bet Lin Mo can clear it. 1 to 2 odds, I'm making money. I bet he can't clear it. Sigh, I'll accept my loss. All kinds of voices emerged in the Human Emperor Network. Lin Mo cleared a secret realm for the 4th time, and this time it was an intermediate secret realm, once again causing a huge uproar in the Divine City. As everyone knew, the difficulty of the intermediate secret realms was far greater than the primary secret realms. But it still couldn't stump Lin Mo. Such ability was enviable and shocking. Lin Mo also received a reward from the Human Emperor Network. Congratulations on completing the first stage mission of the Profound Iron Secret Realm, reward 100 Divine City merits. Congratulations on clearing the Profound Iron Secret Realm, reward 5,000 Divine City merits. The total reward reached 5,100 points, several times higher than the primary secret realms. The Profound Iron Secret Realm only had one stage. Among the many intermediate secret realms, the Profound Iron Secret Realm's reward was considered relatively poor. If the secret realm had multiple stages, the reward could have increased by at least several thousand. Compared to Divine City merits, the biggest gain of this trip was still his physical body. Lin Mo sat in the battleship drinking tea, while Hao Shungjun looked at the data beside him. Lin Mo had already recorded the entire process of his body cultivation, including his experiences, and handed it over to Hao Shungjun in detail. The more Hao Shungjun looked, the tighter his brows furrowed. Lin Mo's cultivation method seemed difficult to replicate. Chapter 1825 I can even kill divine sovereigns. Lin Mo poured tea and drank it on his own, not saying a word, waiting quietly. Hao Shungjun finally finished reading and sighed. It won't work, your cultivation method, although it's very efficient, is too dangerous. One careless mistake, and you'll die and your Tao will disappear. Lin Mo poured hot tea for Hao Shungjun. I've also thought about this problem. I think you can arrange the cultivation environment according to my cultivation method. Lower the difficulty a bit, this way although the cultivation speed will be slower, the safety can be greatly improved. You should have also seen that my cultivation method is actually not complicated, it's just letting the physical body reach its limit, and cultivating by breaking through and then establishing. There are no big tricks, just grasp the degree. Hao Shungjun snorted, easy to say. His eyes showed contemplation. The method Lin Mo said was not infeasible. As long as some arrangements were made, it could be achieved. Lin Mo smiled, actually, it's not that difficult. Find some cultivators who have mastered the laws of life, or prepare more pills for treating physical injuries, and find a few with good body refining aptitude. It's best to start cultivating from the transcendent God realm, so that the physical body and soul realm can be improved synchronously, this way the effect will be the best. Hao Shungjun nodded, I'll discuss it when I get back, if it really works, I'll remember your contribution. Lin Mo was not polite at all, okay, don't forget when the time comes. Hao Shungjun glanced at Lin Mo, Chiwu was right, you kid have a thick skin. Lin Mo chuckled and quickly changed the subject, this time, the starry sky fishmen are visiting, what do you want me to do? Hao Shungjun whispered, this time, there are a total of 100 people coming. Led by 3 elders, the remaining 7 are divine sovereigns, and 90 are young disciples of the clan, with realms ranging from true god to small divine sovereign. We and their elders have matters to discuss, and will not be present. We have also sent some people to take them to visit various places in the divine city. You don't need to worry about these things, someone will naturally handle them. After the tour, according to past practice, there will be a Tao discussion. It's said to be a Tao discussion, but it's actually a competition, of course, a competition between the same realm. What you have to do is suppress them all. Lin Mo smiled, I'm afraid I'll be too heavy-handed, what if I accidentally kill them? They have divine sovereigns present, you can try if you're not afraid of death. If you don't mind, I can actually kill even the divine sovereigns. Hao Shungjun didn't want to pay attention to this guy anymore. Stop joking, don't underestimate your mission is very important, it may affect us. Defeat their geniuses, be decisive enough, you can injure them, but you can't kill them. Also, your acquaintance is here too. Lin Mo Oed, didn't you say that last time? Hao Shungjun smiled, last time was actually a guess, it wasn't completely certain. Now it was Lin Mo's turn to be speechless. Hao Shungjun clearly didn't say that last time. Hao Shungjun whispered, I received a message from Tian Shungjun, the Yu Qingru you mentioned, and the Princess Ru who entered the Nether Swamp, should be the same person. Lin Mo also had some guesses. After all, the two looked exactly alike, had the same name, and came from the same background. However, there were a few questions he had never been able to figure out. Their cultivation levels don't quite match up. The gentle princess who entered the Nether Marsh was a minor god Zun. But the Yu Qingru he knew was only at the peak of true god. There was a big difference in their realms. Hao Shungjun said, I'm not clear about this matter either. You can ask her yourself when you meet her. Anyway, that guy Tian Shungjun won't be mistaken. Lin Mo silently nodded and said nothing more. The warship kept jumping, and arrived at its destination after half a day. This time, the place arranged to receive the Starry Sky Fish people was the intermediate zone. The advanced zone was the core of the human race and would not easily let people in. The low-level zone would be too neglectful. So choosing the intermediate zone was just right, neither too high nor too low. Near, middle 20,999 feet, a circular continent was parked in the starry sky. The entire continent was shrouded in formations. Without permission, outsiders could not enter. The formation had already been activated, and the situation inside the continent could not be seen from the outside. After Hao Shungjun sent Lin Mo to this place, he turned and left. He was going to discuss important matters with several elders of the Starry Sky Fish people. The elders of the Starry Sky Fish people were either Other Shore Realm or Saint Venerables. Lin Mo wasn't very clear about the organizational structure of the Starry Sky Fish people, but that wasn't important. He didn't intend to join them anyway. He flew towards the specially made continent alone. When passing through the formation, Lin Mo felt the power of the Human Emperor Network. His identity had been verified by the Human Emperor Network and he was qualified to enter. If someone was not qualified to enter, they would receive a reminder from the Human Emperor Network as soon as they approached, telling them to leave. If they didn't listen, they would receive a warning, and if they still didn't listen, they would be punished. Obviously, Hao Shungjun and the others had put a lot of effort into this exchange. There must be some unknown secrets behind it. Lin Mo had asked a question indirectly, but Hao Shungjun didn't answer directly at all. The final summary was that it wasn't the right time yet. This continent was circular, exactly 10,000 kilometers in diameter, half land and half ocean. Half mountain and half water, the weather was fine and the environment was very beautiful. At the intersection of the two, wooden houses were built. The style of the houses was very special, not quite the same as the houses of the human race. There were exactly 100 houses. Needless to say, these huts were for the starry sky fish people to live in. A large amount of starlight was drawn over, forming a starry sky. The starlight from the stars was also specially processed, making it extremely soft. The seawater that occupied half of the space was turquoise blue and very clear. There were fish swimming in the sea, a considerable number. About 100,000 meters away from where the starry sky fish people lived, there was also a batch of houses. These houses were in the style of the human race. In the middle of this residence, there were also some buildings. There were places similar to pavilions, with tea tables inside, which could be used for drinking tea and chatting. There were also orchards, filled with colorful fresh fruits, which could be picked and eaten directly when you wanted to eat them. Lin Mo had already seen people picking fruits and eating them. They were people from the starry sky fish people. He didn't stop and flew directly to the human race's residence. There were already many people there. He was one of the later ones. Lin Mo's arrival attracted everyone's attention. Someone saw Lin Mo's information and immediately showed surprise. It's Lin Mo. Lin Mo is here. Lin Mo is actually here. I didn't expect Lin Mo to be the price of our human race this time. It's stable now. No matter how powerful the genius of the starry sky fish people is, it is impossible to defeat Lin Mo. There was no way. Lin Mo's reputation was too great. In the God City now, who would dare to say they didn't know Lin Mo? Even if they hadn't seen him, they should have heard of him. Suddenly a clear voice came. Where is Lin Mo? Where is Lin Mo? Chapter 1826. The starry sky fish people want to make a comeback. The voice was a bit familiar, and a bit exaggerated and chuny. Lin Mo thought for a moment and knew who the owner of the voice was. This guy is here too. He murmured in his heart, and then saw Xu Qingyang flying over. He hadn't seen this guy since he rescued him from the nether marsh. Now that his body had been reshaped, this guy could be considered truly resurrected. Xu Qingyang rushed to Lin Mo, opened his arms and was about to hug him. Lin Mo dodged sideways, and Xu Qingyang missed. Xu Qingyang didn't care at all, and shouted loudly, "Junior brother Lin, you're finally here." Lin Mo looked at him. This guy seemed even more foolish than when he was in soul form. That look, that exaggerated appearance, was a bit funny. His grandfather was Xu Old Ancestor, who was also the current Talisman Saint Venerable. Talisman Saint Venerable didn't smile and was usually very deep and serious. How could his descendants be like this? Lin Mo cupped his hands towards everyone. Lin Mo has met all the senior brothers and junior brothers. Many people were flattered and returned the salute to Lin Mo. Greetings, senior brother Lin. Hello, senior brother Lin. ... Lin Mo is now a popular genius, known as the second god of war of the human race. Many people regard Lin Mo as a role model. Among them, there were two people who were not very enthusiastic. The way they looked at Lin Mo was slightly different, with a hint of disapproval and a faint hint of jealousy. Lin Mo clearly felt the gazes of the two, and was a little puzzled. He didn't know them. The two were brothers, with 8-point similarities in appearance, named He Xing and He Kong respectively, both in the minor god realm. From the He family, Lin Mo hadn't heard of any He family. Judging by their age, they shouldn't be very old. Those who can come here are all geniuses of the younger generation. As geniuses, they are naturally arrogant, and it is normal to be unconvinced. The two brothers went their own way and were not disturbed by external things, only caring about what they thought. This kind of person exudes pride from the bone. Shu Qingyang snorted, ignore them, I'll take you to see this place and choose a house by the way. He pulled Lin Mo to pick a residence, while talking about the current situation. There are many residences here, and most of them are still empty. Lin Mo didn't have any requirements for the residence, and randomly picked one. Shu Qingyang told Lin Mo about the current situation of the two races. Several elders of the Starry Sky Fish people have gone to discuss important matters with Saint Venerable and the others. As for what they are discussing, no one knows. Hao Shengjun had already said that the purpose of their coming this time was to take the Starry Sky Fish people to visit the God City Star territory. Of course, some important places are impossible to take them to. This matter is being handled by several divine venerables, so they don't need to worry about it. Shu Qingyang brewed tea, not Dao tea, but still excellent tea leaves. It was unexpected that Shu Qingyang, with his quirky personality, would actually enjoy drinking tea. In Lin Moyu's understanding, he was more suited to drinking alcohol. Shu Qingyang raised his teacup, Junior brother Lin, I won't say much in the way of thanks, all my gratitude is in this cup of tea. In the future, feel free to order me around for anything, I, Qingyang, will follow your lead even if it means going through fire and water. Lin Moyu smiled, fire and water, are they useful to a mere divine venerable? Shu Qingyang laughed heartily, that's the idea, don't get too hung up on the details. Lin Moyu naturally understood, senior brother Shu, you've only just recovered your physical body, why not rest more? Shu Qingyang said, it's all because the old ancestor asked me to come over, to meet an old friend. Lin Moyu knew that the old friend Shu Qingyang was referring to was not himself, but Yu Qingru. This time, the several holy talismans probably needed the help of the Starry Sky Fish human race. So their attitude seemed extremely good, and the performance of these people seemed to have an impact on the decisions of the holy venerables and others. The whole thing seemed to be shrouded in layers of mist. Lin Moyu felt as if the holy venerables and others were setting up a game, a big game. The Starry Sky Fish human race played a very important role in the game. It's just that Lin Moyu didn't know who this game was targeting. Lin Moyu asked with a smile, then have you seen her? Shu Qingyang shook his head, that's why I haven't seen her, they only arrived yesterday, saying they were still adapting and resting, and told us not to disturb them. You saw those pavilions in the middle when you came, right? That's the boundary, we can't go over there. I inquired a bit, and we will set off tomorrow, taking them to visit Divine City Star region, and they should come out then. Shu Qingyang suddenly lowered his voice, I heard that our victory or defeat this time will have an impact on the decisions above. The Starry Sky Fish human race seems to have the intention of re-emerging, but it hasn't been completely decided yet. Lin Moyu didn't know where Shu Qingyang got this information, maybe it wasn't true, but what if it was? Lin Moyu had a vague guess in his heart, but it was just a guess, senior brother Shu, what else do you know? The Shu family was the holy venerable family in charge of the Guanxi Hall, and they knew a lot of information. As a direct descendant of the Shu family, Shu Qingyang naturally had far more information than ordinary people. Seeking fresh flowers. Shu Qingyang continued, I don't know the specific reason, but I guess, it may be because the Starry Sky Fish human race doesn't have enough resources. So they have no choice but to re-emerge. But they are also hesitant, and there must be people in the clan who oppose the re-emergence, so this matter depends on the situation. Lin Moyu listened quietly, Shu Qingyang's guess was slightly different from what he thought, but generally similar. The Starry Sky Fish human race belongs to one of the four source races, and its strength is not weak. Its fundamental power is space power, and when they went into seclusion, they should have opened up an independent space. So people simply can't find them. But for a race to grow and cultivate, it must have a large amount of resources. They may have brought in a huge amount of resources back then, but no matter how many resources there are, there will be a day when they are exhausted. 0. It is reasonable for them to want to re-emerge. The root of the re-emergence lies in resources, and the root of resources lies in territory. The great world is indeed very large, with countless star regions, but the places that are truly rich in resources have already been occupied by various races. Those places that have not been occupied are either too dangerous or lack resources. The Starry Sky Fish human race naturally wouldn't choose that kind of place. Then there is only one way left, to grab other people's territory. It is meaningless to grab the territory of weak races, the Starry Sky Fish human race doesn't like it. There is only one way left, to grab the territory of strong races. The starry skyfish human race is not weak, but how could it be weak if it can become a strong race? Once the two sides fight, the outcome is unpredictable, and at the same time, they have to worry about whether other races will come to muddy the waters. In fact, when you calculate it like this, the starry skyfish human race doesn't have many choices. Lin Moyu analyzed it in his heart, and his eyes suddenly lit up. He thought of a race that was most suitable for the starry skyfish human race, that is, the Buddhist race. The star region occupied by the Buddhist race is not small, the resources are very rich, and the number of people in the Buddhist race is not large. The only trouble is the Buddhas and ancient Buddhas in the Buddhist race. If the starry skyfish human race were to face the Buddhist race alone, even if they could win, their own losses would not be small. The best way is to pull in another strong race. Could it be that the holy venerables and others also want to attack the Buddhist race? It seems that only in this way can it make sense. The more I think about it, the more likely it is, but these are all speculations based on the starry skyfish human race wanting to re-emerge. If people have never thought about re-emerging, these speculations are completely useless. Xu Qingyang didn't think as much as Lin Moyu, but said, I heard that many geniuses have come from these starry skyfish human race, it's not easy to fight. Long. Chapter 1827. Don't you think it's a little strange? Xu Qingyang looked sad and face like the sky was falling down. Lin Moyu knew that his performance was exaggerated, and that was not the case at all. In his era, he was known as invincible in the same realm, and his combat power was extremely strong. Although he later fell into the Nether Marsh due to a mistake and was trapped for thousands of years. But now he has recovered, and it will not have any impact on his combat power. Although he didn't know Xu Qingyang's true combat power, Lin Moyu could infer from his soul strength that he was stronger than most divine venerables. Even when facing divine venerables, he could fight a battle. Lin Moyu ignored his exaggerated performance. What are your orders? Xu Qingyang said with a sad face, the ancestor gave a death order, I can't lose. It's okay to face other people, but if I face Princess Ru, I'm not sure. Lin Moyu asked, is she that powerful? Xu Qingyang nodded, she is really powerful, under her space laws, 193, I can't even touch the edge of her skirt, so how can I fight? Lin Moyu thought for a while, if she takes action, I will deal with it. Xu Qingyang showed a look of surprise, that's great, then I'll leave it to junior brother Lin. He was not only funny, but also had an amazingly thick skin. He didn't know what politeness was at all, and when he heard Lin Moyu say this, he directly threw the blame to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't care, and asked again, what's going on with the He Xing and He Kong brothers? I feel like they are hostile to me. Xu Qingyang showed a hint of disdain, they are from the He family, and they are used to being complimented since they were young, and there have always been many people around them. It's just that you suddenly appeared, and the wind changed. Those who used to compliment them suddenly stopped complimenting them and started praising you, so they are a little unhappy with you. And some time ago, your belief tower was built. Originally, these belief towers were prepared for them, so they are even more unhappy. The information obtained by the Xu family is indeed very rich, and they can tell it like a treasure. In Lin Moyu's opinion, it was mainly because of the belief tower that attracted the hostility of the two. The power of belief is very useful to cultivators, and the earlier you accumulate it, the better. Ordinary cultivators may not know its function, but cultivators with family inheritance have already begun to accumulate the power of belief early on. Lin Moyu drank tea and said slowly, Senior brother Xu, do you know about the He family? Xu Qingyang laughed and said, how could I not know? The He family is a family in a high-level region, and it is not small in scale. There is a peak divine venerable in the family who is in seclusion, and it is said that it is very likely to break through. In addition, there are two high-rank divine venerables, one is 7th rank and the other is 8th rank. The family has a population of about 20,000, managing a star system with abundant resources. They had high hopes for the He Xing and He Kong brothers, investing significantly to set up faith towers for them. Everything was set, but at the last moment, you snatched their designated location. Although the human race has vast territory, most of the faith towers are occupied by the other shore in the Holy Venerable. To build a faith tower in the vacant areas, one must apply for approval. The whole process is quite complex and requires a small price to be paid. They finally got their turn, but Lin Moyu intercepted it halfway, forcing them to wait longer, naturally making them unhappy. So that's what happened, Lin Moyu said with a smile, not taking such trivial matters to heart. Not only him, but even Xu Qingyang didn't care about those two. Lin Moyu then asked about the visiting Starry Sky Fish People's personnel, which Xu Qingyang didn't know much about. He hadn't contacted them yet. But this didn't stump Lin Moyu, who gazed in the direction of the Starry Sky Fish People. A skeleton appeared beside him, and the undead vision was activated. Instantly, soul flames appeared clearly in his sight. Through the strength of the soul flames, he could roughly analyze the strength of the opponents. A total of 97 people, 7 divine venerables, 3 high-level divine venerables, and 4 divine venerables at the 5th level. 10 lesser divine venerables, 20 divine kings, 30 true gods, and 30 transcendent gods. Each one is quite good, an example of genius. Lin Moyu said softly. This time Xu Qingyang was stunned, wondering how Lin Moyu knew so clearly. Among these soul flames, Lin Moyu saw a familiar person, Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru's soul was much stronger than others. At first glance, Lin Moyu thought he was seeing a divine venerable. After looking through it once, Lin Moyu withdrew his gaze. Xu Qingyang's eyes lit up. Junior brother Lin, how did you see that? Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't tell him, smiling, our people here correspond to them one by one. Xu Qingyang nodded, yes, the numbers correspond one by one, and the realms also correspond one by one, it's all about combat power. Junior brother Lin, we'll rely on you then. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, I'll do my best. The next day, the circular continent finally started, space twisted, and the continent crashed into space, disappearing. At this moment, everyone heard a dignified voice. Everyone, gather at the pavilion. No one dared to neglect the order issued by the Divine Venerable, and they flew towards the pavilion. Xu Qingyang leisurely put away his tea set, smiling, Junior brother Lin, let's go too, let's see the beautiful scenery of our human race starfield. The two flew to the pavilion, which was already full of people. In the sky, 7 human race Divine Venerables exuded extraordinary demeanor. On the ground, a group of geniuses stood steadily, their eyes revealing a strong fighting spirit. They knew the purpose of their trip, and they were all eager to try. The Starry Sky Fish People hadn't arrived yet, and the other side was empty. A Divine Venerable waved his hand, and a large row of tables and chairs appeared from the pavilion. The tables were filled with a dazzling array of delicacies, all human race cuisine, from various star regions of the human race. There were also countless melons and fruits, looking extremely fresh and delicious. In addition, there were wine and tea on the table, for everyone to choose. After waiting for a moment, huge waves suddenly rose on the sea, and the waves came directly to the shore, turning into a large hand. Then figures appeared on the hand, and the hand carried them over. Light flew into the sky from them, and turned into a sky full of starlight, falling again. The whole feeling was like arriving with starlight. The Starry Sky Fish People are most familiar with water and starlight. But this scene made the human race feel uncomfortable. Xu Qingyang whispered, they're putting on airs, aren't they? Quite the show. 0.7 Lin Moyu whispered, guests from afar, let them put on a show if they like, anyway, it won't cost us anything. Xu Qingyang snorted, that's right, this lord is generous and doesn't care. Lin Moyu's gaze passed through the falling stars, and saw the geniuses of the Starry Sky Fish People. 7 divine venerables stood at the front, followed by lesser divine venerables, then divine kings, true gods, and transcendent gods. This shows that the rules of the Starry Sky Fish People are equally strict. After the 7 divine venerables, Lin Moyu saw Yu Qingru. She really reached lesser divine venerable. Curiosity arose in Lin Moyu's heart, she was at the peak of true god before, how did she suddenly become a lesser divine venerable? Could her cultivation speed be as fast as his? Xu Qingyang whispered, the one wearing a silver feather dress behind the 7 divine venerables is Princess Ru. Look, isn't she beautiful, peerless? Lin Moyu whispered, don't you think it's strange? Chapter 1828. Seeing Yu Qingru again. The 7 human race divine venerables had already greeted them, exchanging greetings with the Starry Sky Fish People. The divine venerables seemed to have a very good attitude, but they still maintained the arrogance that the human race should have. Their words were neither humble nor overbearing, at most they just didn't put on airs. From their attitude, Lin Moyu could analyze the human race's attitude towards the Starry Sky Fish People. They couldn't be weak, nor could they be overbearing. The two sides should be in a friendly cooperative relationship, and the trust between them was not yet so high, and it would take time to build. Xu Qingyang's voice, filled with doubt, came from his ear. What's strange? Lin Moyu explained in a low voice, you were trapped in the Nether Marsh for thousands of years, but she wasn't trapped in the Nether Marsh. Why hasn't her cultivation improved at all in these 1,000 years? Xu Qingyang's eyes suddenly lit up, and he said instinctively, that's right, why hasn't her cultivation improved? And I think it's strange, how did she escape back then? Even if she mastered the Nether laws, it would be extremely difficult to escape. Lin Moyu whispered, she must have paid some price. Lin Moyu naturally knew how Yu Qingru escaped from the Nether Marsh, a price must have been paid, but only she herself knew what she paid. Now that he thought about it, Yu Qingru later came to the Vermilion Bird battlefield, seemingly looking for something. Lin Moyu felt a gaze fall on him. Looking up, he found that the owner of the gaze was Yu Qingru. Their eyes met, and Lin Moyu revealed a smile, transmitting his voice through his soul, long time no see. Yu Qingru's clear and beautiful voice also sounded in his soul, long time no see, I didn't expect you to become a lesser divine venerable. Lin Moyu smiled, you also became a lesser divine venerable. I'm different. Yu Qingru's gaze suddenly became somewhat complicated, hesitant to speak. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, without asking further. He had spent time with Yu Qingru and knew her personality. These two simple conversations still conformed to his previous impression of her. Xu Qingyang's slightly excited voice sounded in his ear, Princess Ru is looking at me, does she still remember me? Xu Qingyang looked a little infatuated at the moment. When they were in the Nether Marsh, Lin Moyu had already discovered that this guy seemed to have some feelings for Princess Ru. Lin Moyu said, why don't you ask her and see if she does? At this moment, the Divine Venerable's voice sounded again, we are about to arrive at the first wonder, the Star Sea Rising Sun. Everyone can take a seat, taste the delicious food and wine, and enjoy the wonder at the same time. One of their tasks this time was to communicate with the Starry Sky Fish people, exchange ideas, and increase their relationship. Everyone present here is a genius, coming from various prominent families. Perhaps in the future, they will be high-level members of the two races. Building good relationships in advance is beneficial for the future of both races. The 100-meter-long table was filled with delicacies. These delicacies were extremely exquisite, appearing extremely tempting. Everyone took their seats, and at this moment, the rules became more relaxed. Transcendental gods and lesser god sovereigns could share the same table. In ordinary times, this would be impossible. Those transcendental gods and true gods had obvious excitement on their faces. Lin Moy casually chose a seat, and in front of him was the lesser god sovereign of the Starry Sky Fish people. Lin Moy offered a smile, considering it a greeting. As for the god sovereigns, they changed to another place, seemingly having matters to discuss. This place was left to the young people of the two races, and without the god sovereigns, they became more at ease. After all, they were all young people, and they quickly became acquainted. The Starry Sky Fish people and humans, judging solely from appearance, shared 90% similarity. Their aesthetics were also extremely close. The geniuses sent by the humans this time were all handsome men and beautiful women. As the atmosphere heated up, the relationship between them naturally grew closer. Wearing a silver dress and with a tall figure, Yu Qingru walked over, arriving opposite Lin Moy. She smiled brightly, like blooming flowers, are you free? Let's chat. Lin Moy gladly accepted, okay. Before he could get up, Xu Qingyang stepped forward, with a smiling face, Princess Ru, long time no see. Yu Qingru looked at Xu Qingyang with a hint of doubt, you are? Xu Qingyang immediately said, I am Xu Qingyang, we went to the Nether Marsh together back then. Yu Qingru's eyes flickered slightly, I know about the Nether Marsh, but I don't remember what happened then, I'm sorry. Ah, Yu Qingru's answer left Xu Qingyang stunned. Yu Qingru had actually forgotten about what happened back then. Seeming somewhat unwilling, he immediately asked, Princess Ru, do you remember how you escaped back then? Yu Qingru shook her head, I don't remember. As she spoke, she winked at Lin Moy, and Lin Moy slowly got up, let's go. The two left the crowd and headed towards the coast. Xu Qingyang waited in place for a few seconds, looking at the departing figures, and communicated with the Human Emperor Network, Ancestor, Yu Qingru no longer remembers the Nether Marsh. When transmitting the information, Xu Qingyang's eyes were sharp, with none of the jocularity from before. Lin Moi and Yu Qingru arrived at the coast, listening to the sound of the waves, and Yu Qingru slowly spoke, I didn't expect to see you here, your cultivation speed surprises me. Lin Moi smiled, you too, when I saw you before, you were only at the peak of true God, and in the blink of an eye, you've become a lesser God sovereign. At this moment, Yu Qingru's smile faded, and she became cold. She gently shook her head, I'm different, I just recovered my previous cultivation. Lin Moi sensed Yu Qingru's change, this is the real you, the one just now was an act. Yu Qingru's aura became even colder, I don't like interacting with too many people, especially when it's all meaningless, but my identity dictates that I have to participate. Understood. Lin Moi chuckled, fully understanding the meaning in Yu Qingru's words. Yu Qingru looked Lin Moi up and down, I'm a little curious, what have you experienced these years, why can 003 cultivate so quickly? Lin Moi smiled, I've experienced a lot, I have good talent, so my cultivation speed is relatively fast. Yu Qingru rolled her eyes at him, your skin is thicker than before. Lin Moi didn't answer, I'm also a little curious, what are you looking for in the Vermilion Bird battlefield? Yu Qingru whispered, so you saw through it, I'm looking for my lost realm. Lin Moi was a little puzzled, lost realm. Yu Qingru stretched, revealing extremely beautiful lines, that's one of our secret techniques, it's okay to tell you. When encountering danger, we can use the secret technique for reincarnation once. The soul and body can return to the ancestral land and be resurrected. But reincarnation cannot take away the realm, but this realm will not dissipate, but will remain somewhere in a special form. Now you understand. Lin Moi nodded, how could he not understand? She must have been seriously injured when she escaped from the Nether Marsh, and then used the secret technique of reincarnation. After resurrecting, she recultivated to the peak of true God, and then came back to find the lost realm. Lin Moi asked, do you even lose your memory during reincarnation? Yu Qingru sighed, generally not, but I had a little accident, and my memory is gone. But that's okay, just treat it as living a new life. You're quite open-minded. A flash of light, Lin Moi held in his hand a jade box. Chapter 1829, High-rise buildings, cars, traffic lights. Seeing the jade box in Lin Moi's hand, Yu Qingru's breathing suddenly stopped. Her eyes were glued to the jade box, did you get this from the Nether Marsh? Lin Moi generously handed over the jade box, it should be yours. Yu Qingru took the jade box, after I reincarnated, the elders in the clan told me about what happened before I reincarnated. I know that I had a magic weapon that was lost in the Nether Marsh. As she spoke, her white jade hands gently stroked the jade box. Her movements were gentle, as if stroking her most beloved thing. After all, it was once her most important magic weapon, although reincarnated, that familiar feeling was hard to erase. Yu Qingru opened the box, a delicate little sword flew out of the box like lightning, stabbing towards Yu Qingru like lightning. Yu Qingru didn't dodge or avoid, letting the little sword stab at her. The little sword suddenly stopped when it was still an inch away from her brow. Then the little sword made a joyful sword cry, like a child who had found a relative, spinning around Yu Qingru non-stop. The little sword would stop from time to time, sticking to Yu Qingru's pretty face, looking extremely affectionate. Yu Qingru said, although I have lost my past memories, I am sure that this little sword is my magic weapon. At this time, a silver sword appeared in Yu Qingru's hand, the two swords made a soft sound at the same time, as if greeting each other. Both swords had initial intelligence, although their levels were not high, they were rare treasures. Yu Qingru put the little sword back into the jade box, then the jade box turned into a stream of light, and went into Yu Qingru's body. After reincarnation, she was still the owner of the magic weapon, without needing to refine it again to recognize its owner. Lin Moi smiled, I found it in the Nether Marsh, and now it's back to its original owner. Yu Qingru whispered, thank you. Without affectation, just a simple thank you. Yu Qingru wouldn't say those high-sounding words, a thank you was enough. Lin Moi asked, you should already be able to advance to God Sovereign, right? Why are you suppressing your realm? He had already seen through the eye of the undead that Yu Qingru's soul was unusually powerful. More powerful than some newly promoted God Sovereigns. Possibly related to her second cultivation after reincarnation. Yu Qingru already fully met the conditions for advancing to God Sovereign, but obviously, she deliberately suppressed her realm, and did not advance to God Sovereign. Yu Qingru didn't hide it, I have another spell that has not sublimated into a star. If I advance to God Sovereign now, it will be harmful and not beneficial in the future. One of the things I came to your human race for this time is to ask you for a 6-colored essence fire. It's just that the 6-colored essence fire is too rare, I don't know if you're human race. Before she could finish speaking, her eyes widened abruptly. She saw a fire-avoiding box in Lin Mo's palm. The fire-avoiding box opened, and a spark of refined fire flickered inside. 7 colors of light intertwined, reflecting on Yu Qingru's exquisite face. 7-colored refined fire. Yu Qingru was completely stunned. She originally wanted a 6-colored refined fire, but Lin Mo casually took out a 7-colored refined fire. 7-colored refined fire had only appeared in legends, and she never dared to hope to obtain one. She wasn't even sure if it really existed. Just as she was about to say something, a brilliant light shot out from the distant pavilion, reaching straight into the sky. The array covering the continent was activated, and the originally dim and hazy sky suddenly became clear. The scene in the God City starry sky entered everyone's view through the array. In the dim starry sky, a spectacle was unfolding. In the dim starry sky, countless stars twinkled. These stars were not real stars, but fragments of stars. There were simply too many of them, numbering in the hundreds of billions or trillions. In the distance were 4 fixed stars, located around the fragments of stars. Among the 4 fixed stars, 2 emitted blue light, and the other 2 emitted red light. The light intertwined, causing hundreds of billions of star fragments to reflect light simultaneously. The light intertwined, forming wave-like undulations. The light undulated like waves, alternating between blue and red, making it very dreamlike. Waves of law aura came from the dreamlike world, instantly sweeping across a large area of the starry sky. The scene became even more dreamlike, with laws and light merging together, creating another starry sky. The starry sky and the light was like an independent small world. Inside, people were singing and dancing, like a mirage in the starry sky. That world was also brilliantly lit and incredibly beautiful. Soon, a great sun rose from the independent small world. The small world was illuminated and awakened. Buildings of high-rise buildings emerged, orderly and well-arranged. There were roads between the buildings, pedestrians on the roads, and rectangular objects moving quickly. Everyone was stunned when they saw this scene. What are these houses? What style are they? Never seen them before, square and square, as if they were built of metal. Why are there so many colored glazes outside the walls? They look quite pretty. What are those things running on the road? Square and square, like iron boxes. Those people's clothes are so strange. Many people in the human race had never seen such a scene and were showing surprise. Not to mention the starry sky fishmen, who couldn't understand it at all. In their view, cultivators could all fly. But the people in the projected small world were just walking. Moreover, their clothing and attire were completely different from the great world. At this time, a god Venerable's voice sounded, "This is, rising sun in the star sea, one of the wonders of our human race." The so-called wonder does not refer to how beautiful it is. Rather, it refers to something that has never been seen before, exceeds one's own knowledge system, and can make people feel surprised. This is a wonder. Lin Mo was also very surprised at this moment, even shocked. The light of the 7-colored refined fire reflected on his face, further amplifying his shock. Yu Qingru asked, "Is this your first time seeing it too?" Lin Mo only hummed in response, his eyes fixed on the so-called rising sun in the star sea. In the world of rising sun in the star sea, a great sun was rising into the sky. It wasn't his first time seeing it, he had seen it countless times. This was the world he lived in last time, the world called China. Familiar high-rise buildings, familiar pedestrians and cars, familiar roads, familiar traffic lights. His heart kept murmuring, how could this be? What's going on? He once thought that his previous life's Jiao world was just a small world in the great world. Later, after entering the great world, as his strength continued to increase, he realized that his idea was wrong. The world of his previous life was not a small world. The two had completely different systems. Under the envelopment of the great world's runes, such a small world would not appear. This was a world belonging to laws and runes, with its own operating rules. There might be deviations, but not such large deviations. The two worlds should not have any connection, but thinking of the primordial runes, the most ancient and primordial characters, seemed to have some connection with his previous life. Lin Mo couldn't sort it out, so he simply ignored it later. He believed that as long as his strength was strong enough, he could figure out all these things. Unexpectedly, today, in the so-called rising sun in the star sea spectacle, he saw the world of his previous life again. His whole mind was blank. How could he not be shocked? Yu Qingru seemed to sense Lin Mo's abnormality, her tone soft, with concern. Are you okay? Chapter 1830. Living in a remote corner is actually not safe. Lin Mo tried hard to suppress the waves in his heart, answering in an extremely calm tone, I'm fine. His voice was a little hoarse, and the seemingly calm tone contained turbulent waves inside. For some reason, Yu Qingru's heart tightened, with an unspeakable feeling. She could hear that Lin Mo had something on his mind, but he wouldn't say it. Yu Qingru wanted to say, if there's anything, you can tell me. But in the end, she hesitated. What was her status? At most, she was just Lin Mo's friend. Moreover, not being of the same race, this friendship would be discounted. Finally, Lin Mo withdrew his gaze, his aura completely calming down, muttering to himself, rising sun in the star sea, not bad indeed. Countless stars is the sea, the 4 fixed stars is the sun, weaving a unique picture with naturally formed unique laws. These pictures seemed real and illusory, as if allowing people to see another unique world. No one could say the specific reason, after all, it was just a picture. Many people thought that this might be a small world that was still in a closed state, projecting a mirage into the outside star sea. But those with high levels of realm were very clear that this was not the case. But what exactly was going on, only a very few people knew. Rising sun in the star sea lasted for about 10 minutes before ending 513, and the continent continued to set off, flying towards another scenic spot. The God City star territory was vast, even if it was only a middle-level area, its scope far exceeded the starry sky fishmen. Now that everyone was familiar, they also learned a lot of information about the starry sky fishmen while chatting and talking. This information was not confidential, and the god Venerables would not care. The starry sky fishmen's place of seclusion, the star territory was not large. According to their description, the diameter was only 1 light year. A range of 1 light year was too small for a strong race. Taking the human race as an example, the 4 major star territories surrounded the God City star territory, with a range of up to hundreds of thousands of light years. 1 compared to hundreds of thousands was too much of a difference. The star territories occupied by the other strong races might be a little smaller than the human race, but not by much. Even the Buddhist race occupied a star territory of more than 10,000 light years. Lin Mo looked out at the sea and asked, are you planning to end your seclusion? Yu Qingru didn't hide anything. Yes, the elders do have this plan, but it's not necessarily a certainty. Is it because you don't have enough cultivation resources? Lin Mo continued to ask. Yu Qingru shook her head, we have enough resources for now, it's just that we've been separated from the great world for too long. However, returning is just one of many options, we have other choices. Actually, the elders' opinions aren't unified either. Some elders feel that there's no need to return, and that we're fine as we are now. As the princess of the starry sky fish human race, Yu Qingru controls the laws of space, giving her a high position in the race. She knows a lot of information, but Lin Mo didn't expect to get any secrets from her. Lin Mo sighed softly, indeed, your concerns are not wrong, the great world is too cruel. Sometimes I also wonder why I came to the great world from a small world. Actually, living in a small world is not bad, living a peaceful life, having children, and passing on the bloodline. Why risk it in the great world? A nimble light flashed in Yu Qingru's eyes, so you came out of a small world, then we're similar. She seemed to have found something in common with Lin Mo, and looked a little happy. The starry skyfish human race's place of seclusion can actually be regarded as a small world. Yu Qingru asked curiously, then what exactly made you choose to stay in the great world? Lin Mo continued, there are many reasons, but the most important one is that I want to control my own destiny. Small worlds seem safe, but they are actually more dangerous. Perhaps the aftermath of a battle between god Venerables would be enough to destroy the entire small world. When that kind of thing comes, if I don't have the power, how can I protect myself and protect my family? Yu Qingru agreed with Lin Mo's point of view. Yes, living in a remote place seems carefree, but in reality, you don't have much ability to resist risks. It's like a fish in a river, maybe one day a bigger fish from the sea will come along and eat it. Hearing Yu Qingru's words, Lin Mo's heart suddenly filled with many guesses. He realized that something must have happened within the starry sky fish human race, forcing them to make the decision to return. He wouldn't ask what exactly it was, and Yu Qingru wouldn't say even if he asked. However, from this Lin Mo could be sure that the starry sky fish human race's return was almost a certainty. If he could figure it out, those shrewd Saint Venerables would certainly be able to see it as well. The Saint Venerables and the fish human race's elders were discussing, but it was actually a negotiation. Everyone was calculating for their own interests, and what they had to do was to show the strength of the younger generation of the human race to increase their bargaining chips. At the same time, they also had to give the fish human race some face, and both sides had to get by. They had to win, but they couldn't win too much. Energy fluctuations came, and the aura of the transcendent god realm was rising. This kind of aura was like a gentle breeze to Lin Mo and Yu Qingru. The two turned around at the same time and looked, only to see two people sparring tens of thousands of meters away from the banquet. Both of them were at the peak of the transcendent god realm, both were geniuses, and both could fight beyond their level. This could be regarded as the first collision between the starry sky fish human race and the young geniuses of the human race. On the side, many people were watching. Looking at their expressions, they seemed a little excited. It seems that these young people can't wait any longer, Lin Mo chuckled. Yu Qingru glanced at Lin Mo and said softly, "They are older than you." Huh, Lin Mo was slightly stunned. How did Yu Qingru know his age? He had hidden his age information on the Human Emperor network, and it was impossible for Yu Qingru to see the information on the Human Emperor network. Yu Qingru chuckled, "I was born with the power of space, space is my hand, I can see your bone age without contact. Although it's not very accurate, I can roughly see that you should be less than 100 years old." Lin Mo suddenly understood, space is your hand, the laws of space can actually be used like this. Yu Qingru didn't dwell on this topic, and smiled, "Let's go, young genius, let's go watch the battle too." A smile gradually appeared on Yu Qingru's face, sweeping away the previous coldness. This was the appearance she deliberately showed to others, which was different from her true personality. Lin Mo knew that this was also specially instructed by the elders of the clan. This exchange between the two races was very important, so Yu Qingru couldn't be so aloof, as it would easily offend people. The two sides fought fiercely, and layers of fighting spirit soared into the sky. The young man from the human race was named Lin Kong, and came from the Lin family of the main star system in the primary region. His appearance was somewhat similar to Lin Sha, and he also comprehended the laws of slaughter. Lin Mo suspected that he should be a descendant of Lin Sha. However, the laws of slaughter were not suitable for this kind of sparring, and the combat power would be somewhat lost. The essence of the laws of slaughter is slaughter, and the battlefield and life and death struggles are where it can be brought into play. The young man from the starry sky fish human race manipulated the laws of water. He was shrouded in deep blue water, and the laws of water moved violently, turning into countless weapons and killing Lin Kong. Lin Kong propped up the domain of law, and the domain was full of murderous aura, and launched an attack with it. Chapter 1831. A princess can also marry out. The fundamental power of the starry sky fish human race is the power of space. This doesn't mean that they won't use other powers. The truth is that in the starry sky fish human race, only those with royal blood have the opportunity to awaken their talent in space and comprehend the laws of space. And it's just an opportunity, the number of clansmen who can truly comprehend the laws of space is not many. People like Yu Qingru who are born with the power of space are even fewer, and fewer. In addition to the power of space, the starry sky fish human race is best at the laws of water, which can be seen from their name. Being the same laws of water, under the same realm, the starry sky fish human race can exert more power. Yu Qingru said calmly, "Who do you think will win?" Lin Mo thought for a few seconds. From the level of law, the laws of slaughter have more advantages, but you have bonuses to the laws of water, so the two sides are tied. The two sides have the same realm and similar strength, and will probably end in a tie. Lin Mo added in his heart, "If it's a life and death struggle, the human race can survive." Yu Qingru smiled. The first sparring ended in a draw, which is indeed a good result. After a fight, the two sides shook hands and made peace, without distinction. Ending in a draw, without hurting harmony, is considered a perfect start. The god Venerable saw it in their eyes, and were very satisfied. This time, the human race and the starry sky fish human race are cooperating, not suppressing each other. Of course, it is still necessary to have a slight upper hand. This degree is not easy to grasp, but now it seems that these little guys are good. A sparring match is like a seasoning, but it makes the atmosphere more enthusiastic. In friendly exchanges, these young people found many common languages. They found that both sides had the same habits in many ways. Moreover, their similar appearances further narrowed the distance between them. After the two sparring partners shook hands, they each picked up a glass of wine and poured it down each other's throats, in a posture of wanting to compete in drinking. Before long, the second sparring match began. It was still two young men at the peak of the transcendent god realm. In fact, there are no specific rules for this exchange. Whether or not to spar is up to each individual to negotiate. However, both races had received instructions from their elders, knowing what they had to do. This time, the human genius drove the laws of fire, and the raging flames burned. The genius of the starry sky fish human race was still the laws of water. The two laws restrain each other, depending on who is stronger. This battle was even more fierce. The two fought from the ground to the sky. The flames were fierce and the waves were surging, and neither would give in. The two displayed powerful combat strength, unleashing true God Realm combat power with their peak transcendent God Realm cultivation. The God Sovereigns all showed satisfaction in their gazes. Your human race is producing exceptional young talents in abundance. The starry skyfish race is not inferior in the slightest, their younger generation is equally stunning. Looking at these little fellows, we really are getting old. I heard that your human race produced a little fellow named Lin Moyu, who has been listed as the top target on the must-kill list by various races. Did he come this time? He came, he's down there. The one next to Princess Ru is him. Lin Moyu felt several gazes fall upon him, turned his head to look, and saw several god sovereigns in the distance looking at him. He smiled politely and shifted his attention away. Yu Qingru smiled beside him. They are talking about you. Lin Moyu responded with an, perhaps also about you. Yu Qingru said, your fame is very great now, many races want to kill you. Lin Moyu's lips curled slightly, extremely confident, they have no chance. Yu Qingru giggled lightly, not continuing the topic. She moved her lotus-like steps lightly, walked to the table, and took a piece of fresh fruit. Lin Moyu didn't recognize what fruit it was, but Yu Qingru had already eaten several pieces, so it was obviously delicious. Yu Qingru tasted the fruit, squinting her eyes slightly, revealing an expression of enjoyment. This fruit tastes really good, we don't have such good fruit where I'm from. Lin Moyu smiled, then you can come and live here, there's a lot of delicious food in the human race. Yu Qingru raised her eyebrows slightly, may I take that as an invitation? Of course. Yu Qingru laughed, laughing very happily. However, Lin Moyu couldn't tell whether Yu Qingru was really happy or pretending. Normally, she was too aloof, rarely smiling. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt a gaze, a sharp and unfriendly gaze. The owner of the gaze was a little god sovereign of the starry skyfish race, with handsome features, a tall and straight figure, wearing a silver armor, looking heroic and extraordinary. His gaze contained some warning. Lin Moyu smiled wryly. He of course understood the meaning, but he didn't care at all. Would a lion care about the warning of an ant? Princess Ru, that person seems to have an opinion of me, Lin Moyu asked. Yu Qingru followed Lin Moyu's direction and saw the little god sovereign. His name is Yu Zhe, he once proposed marriage to me, but I rejected him. His grandfather is an elder in the clan, with some power. Lin Moyu smiled, it seems he hasn't given up. Yu Qingru sighed, appearing somewhat helpless, we are all of the same race, and all of royal blood, I can't kill him either. Zero seeking fresh flowers. But he also knows that he can't force me on this matter. After all, I am a princess of the clan, my status is higher than his. Lin Moyu suddenly thought of the Luo goddess, and couldn't help but ask, have you ever heard a beautiful love story? I want to ask, with a princess identity like yours, can you really not marry outside the clan? Yu Qingru smiled, you're referring to the matter of the Luo goddess, right? Smart. Lin Moyu sincerely praised, he just said it casually, and Yu Qingru understood. Yu Qingru thought for a moment, this is one thing, that is another. The period of the Luo goddess was a relatively special period for our clan. At that time, due to an accident, the elders of the royal family passed away, and there was no leader. The mother of the Luo goddess, Princess Yu Luo, was one of the few people in the clan who controlled the power of space. 0. Her existence was extremely important, so it was impossible for her to marry outside the clan. You also know what happened later. Princess Yuluo brought Princess Luo Goddess back. Although Princess Luo Goddess has half-human blood, she also awakened the power of space, and it was even stronger. Princess Luo Goddess sat in the clan at that time, helping us through the most difficult period. Later, some of us successively awakened the power of space, and the crisis in the clan was finally resolved. But not long after, Princess Luo Goddess left, and her whereabouts are unknown. Yu Qingru finished telling the whole story in a very beautiful voice. After listening, Lin Moyu said, "In that case, your clan doesn't actually have a strict ban on princesses marrying outside the clan." Yu Qingru nodded. "There is indeed no strict ban, but apart from Princess Yuluo, no princess has ever married outside the clan." Lin Moyu smiled and didn't continue to ask. A roar sounded in the air. The second competition finally had a result. Water and fire are incompatible, but the strength of the two was equal, and in the end, it still ended in a draw. 2 consecutive draws were indeed surprising. But it also gave people a feeling of mutual appreciation. Soon, the third competition began. The third competition was still the stage for the Transcendent God Realm. Everyone seemed to have a tacit understanding. First the Transcendent God Realm took the stage, and then gradually increased the level. Otherwise, once the God Kings took action, the Transcendent God Realm would be pointless. Since everyone has come, there must be an opportunity for everyone to show off. Time passed imperceptibly. This special continent carried everyone flying in the starry sky, watching one beautiful human galaxy after another, a wonderful sight. The competition also continued in a warm atmosphere. Chapter 1832. I want to challenge all of them. There were wins and losses in the competition, but regardless of the outcome, it was no longer important. Now, everyone just wanted to have a good fight. After the Transcendent God Realm finished fighting, the true gods took action one after another. They rubbed their fists, each finding their own opponent, and the battles became more and more exciting. The relationship between each other also became better and better in one competition after another. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "In our human race, there is a saying that, a fight brings recognition. It seems that this is true." Yu Qingru smiled and said, "That makes a lot of sense." Lin Moyu asked, "After the true God Realm is finished, it should be the God King's turn, and then the little God Sovereigns. Have you found your opponent?" Yu Qingru shook her head. "I won't take action." Lin Moyu smiled freely. "Do you think that the people here are not worthy of fighting you?" Yu Qingru looked at Lin Moyu, her beautiful eyes carrying a gentle light. "No, if I were to take action, my opponent would be you, but I don't want to fight you." "Why?" 373, "For no reason, I just don't want to fight you." Lin Moyu knew he couldn't get an answer, so he didn't ask any more questions. Girls' thoughts, whether they are human girls or starry sky fish girls, seem to be the same, unfathomable. Yu Qingru smiled, "But I know that you will definitely take action. Someone will come looking for you." Lin Moyu naturally knew who she was referring to. Yu Ji's warning had appeared more than once. He had ignored it every time. He had been with Yu Qingru these past few days, and Yu Ji's gaze had become increasingly fierce, as if he wanted to kill someone. Lin Moyu sighed softly. "I hope he doesn't go too far when the time comes, otherwise I'm afraid I won't be able to hold back." "It's okay, just don't kill him," Yu Qingru said indifferently, slowly getting up. "I'll be leaving for a while." After saying that, she turned and left, returning to her residence, disappearing from sight. Lin Moyu quietly watched the competition, took the wine on the table, and slowly drank it. At this time, Shu Qingyang, who had not appeared for several days, quietly approached, lowering his voice. "Junior brother Lin, I didn't expect you to actually know Princess Ru." Lin Moyu said, "We met once on the Vermilion Bird battlefield." Shu Qingyang clicked his tongue. To be able to chat like this after just one meeting, I think Princess Ru is a little interested in junior brother Lin. Why doesn't junior brother Lin try to marry Princess Ru home? Lin Moyu glanced at this guy and didn't want to pay attention to him. At this moment, another person walked over. It was Yuge. Before, when Yu Qingru was present, he didn't come over, but now that Yu Qingru had left, he couldn't wait to come over. Yuge stared intently at Lin Moyu, his eyes revealing sharpness. "You're called Lin Moyu, right? My name is Yuge, and I want to spar with you." Lin Moyu smiled slightly. "Sure, but let's make it clear in advance, I don't know the limits of my strength, you might get hurt." Yuge's expression changed slightly. Lin Moyu's words made him feel despised, and he bit his teeth. I also hit very hard. Lin Moyu expressed indifference. It doesn't matter, if you can hurt me, that's your skill. Yuge gritted his teeth. Alright, then let's see the real deal. He left, and Shu Qingyang asked strangely, I feel like this guy seems to have a grudge against you. Lin Moyu took a sip of wine. Who knows? He communicated with the Emperor Network, directly contacted Hao Shungjun, and told him about Yuge's matter. A few minutes later, he received a reply from Hao Shungjun. Hao Shungjun's original words, just don't kill him, win decisively. From these words, Lin Moyu saw some different meanings. Obviously, the discussions and negotiations on Hao Shungjun's side were not going smoothly. They needed some effort from this side. Shu Qingyang suddenly frowned. I just received a message from the ancestor, telling us to put in more effort and not hold back. Lin Moyu said, go ask others if they have received similar information. Okay, Shu Qingyang immediately went to inquire. Shu Qingyang had no heirs, although he was a little god, he could get along with the transcendent god realm, calling each other brothers. In these few days, he had become familiar with almost everyone. After some inquiries, Shu Qingyang said, only the 10 of us little gods received the message. The content is the same, telling us not to hold back. Lin Moyu confirmed his guess. It seems that the progress on the Holy One's side is not going smoothly. However, the strength of the transcendent gods, true gods, and god kings doesn't have much impact on them, but the performance of the little gods will have an impact on them. Shu Qingyang wasn't stupid and immediately understood Lin Moyu's meaning. Then let's have a good fight, we can't play around. Lin Moyu thought for a while. Let me ask again. He sent another message to Hao Shungjun, if I single-handedly challenge all their little gods, will the effect be better? This time, he waited a full 10 minutes before receiving Hao Shungjun's reply. The reply was just 2 words, okay. A smile appeared on the corner of Lin Moyu's mouth. He knew what to do next. Shu Qingyang noticed Lin Moyu's expression. What are you going to do? Lin Moyu didn't answer, which made Shu Qingyang itch with impatience, muttering, why are you like those old guys in the family, you just like to act mysterious. Half a day later, Yu Qingru came back again. She changed her clothes, from a silver dress to pink light armor. The light pink color made her whole person look fair and rosy. The close-fitting light armor showed off her curvy figure even more. Yuge stared unblinkingly at Yu Qingru, his eyes full of infatuation. Unfortunately, the unrequited love was unrequited. Yu Qingru didn't like him at all, and no amount of tenderness was useless. Seeing Yu Qingru coming, Shu Qingyang left knowingly, winking at Lin Moyu before leaving. Yu Qingru went straight to Lin Moyu, come with me. The two left the crowd again and walked to a distance. This scene made Yuge's eyes spew fire, and his chest heaved violently with anger. Yu Qingru said with a hint of helplessness, I didn't want to do it originally, but there's no way, the elders in the clan have given the order, I must do it. No wonder you changed into light armor. I remember the first time I saw you, you were also wearing light armor. Lin Moyu looked at Yu Qingru with admiring eyes. Yu Qingru didn't hate Lin Moyu's gaze. What do you think? Lin Moyu smiled. I also received an order here. The two smiled at each other, knowing each other's intentions. Yu Qingru said, then okay, let's have a fight, I'm actually quite curious about your strength. Lin Moyu smiled, I also want to see how powerful the space laws are. The two didn't pay attention to the subsequent sparring, whether it was the true god realm or the god king realm, their sparring was purely just sparring 0.3. Only the sparring of the little gods contained deeper meanings. In Lin Moyu's thinking, it was that the holy ones of the two races had agreed to a gamble. The Holy Ones didn't participate, and the victory or defeat of the gamble was left to the younger generation. The continent stopped in the starry sky at some point, the several wonders had already been seen, and next was only the sparring. When the last sparring of the God King realm had just ended, a voice suddenly rang out. Lin Moyu, come and fight. The voice was slightly low, seeming to suppress some anger. Yuge formally challenged Lin Moyu. The god sovereigns watching in the sky were a little puzzled. The god sovereigns of the starry sky fishmen race understood why. Yuge is probably jealous. These few days, Lin Moyu has been with Princess Ru, it seems their relationship is good. This is also good, Yuge won't hold back, and it's also good to see Lin Moyu's true strength. Chapter 1833. Perhaps he is the strongest in the world. Often the opening of great events is started by some insignificant small things. For example, now, the results of the sparring of the little gods can affect the decisions of the holy ones. The two stood in the air. The battle of the little god realm had a very large scope. It wouldn't be strange if this continent was shattered. The god sovereigns had already taken action to stabilize the continent and opened multiple formations to protect the continent firmly. Lin Moyu looked at Yuge. Originally, I didn't want to fight you. Yuge sneered, it's too late to regret now, I won't show mercy. Lin Moyu shook his head, you misunderstood my meaning. My meaning is, I originally wanted to single-handedly challenge all of you little gods. It's too troublesome for you to come together, fighting one by one. As soon as Lin Moyu said this, it immediately caused an uproar. The little gods of the starry sky fishmen race changed color one after another. Arrogant. Who is this person? He's so arrogant. I know Yuge's strength, although he's not as good as Princess Ru, he's still ranked in the clan, this guy is too arrogant. 1 against 10 of us, his meaning is to include Princess Ru as well. I want to see what this guy's confidence is, don't get seriously injured by Yuge later, that would be too embarrassing. I heard that this guy called Lin Moyu is the strongest genius of the younger generation of the human race, perhaps his strength is really extraordinary. Compared to the displeasure of the starry sky fishmen race, the reaction on the human race's side was also different. They didn't expect that Lin Moyu could say such a thing. 1 against 10, everyone is a little god, even if there is a gap in strength, it is impossible to be so different. The starry sky fishmen race is not a weak race, under the same realm, who dares to say that they will win? Even those who originally believed in Lin Moyu, now have doubts. Yu Qingru was expressionless. At this moment she resumed her high and cold posture, her eyes without joy or sorrow. In the sky, Yu Jie was so angry that he laughed. He felt extremely despised. Don't you think your words are ridiculous? Lin Moyu stretched out his hand and beckoned, let's do it, don't waste time. Okay, I want to see what strength you have to dare say such a thing. Yu Jie roared, and a trident appeared in his hand. The trident emitted a blue light, and in an instant, the sky behind Yu Jie turned blue. The ocean above the earth rose as a whole, forming an overwhelming force, pouring into the sky. Little God, with 100% control over the water element law, instantly controlled the ocean of the entire continent. Yu Jie's aura became even stronger, with the blue ocean behind him. The trident is one of the favorite magic weapons of the merman race. The trident in Yu Jie's hand has reached the high level of the God King realm and is also a top-quality magic weapon. After a second of charging, Yu Jie gave a light shout, and the trident pierced forward. The rolling torrent crushed towards Lin Moyu. Stormy waves surged in the sky, transforming into countless figures, giant beasts in the sea, baring their teeth and claws, trying to tear Lin Moyu into pieces. The waves are not just waves, they also contain powerful water laws. This is the real terrifying power, the waves are just an appearance. Facing the overwhelming waves, Lin Moyu didn't make any big moves, didn't dodge or chop, and threw a punch lightly. A golden light flashed on the fist, but under the blue water light, this golden light was so insignificant. Boom! The weak golden light exploded instantly, and the giant wave suddenly reversed. The aggressive giant wave was sent flying by Lin Moyu's casual punch. Everyone was stunned. God, how did he do it? What kind of law is this? How can it be so strong? No, I didn't feel the power of the law at all. Then what is it? The gods in the distance all widened their eyes, looking at this scene in disbelief. Physical strength. This is pure physical strength. God King Golden Body, one punch breaks all laws. The gods opened their mouths wide and couldn't close them for a long time. They were knowledgeable and could see at a glance that what Lin Moyu used was pure physical strength. But it was because they understood that they were so shocked. If Lin Moyu used some powerful spells or amazing laws, even the first echelon of laws, they wouldn't be so out of control. No matter how difficult the first echelon of laws is, someone will always comprehend them. The Starry Sky Merman race can master the law of space, and it is normal for some powerful human races to have a few geniuses who master the first echelon of laws. But what Lin Moyu showed was pure physical strength, and it was extremely powerful. That is a path that no one can take anymore. No race takes the path of physical cultivation, but Lin Moyu has taken it, and he has gone far. If he becomes a god and reaches the other side, invincible in the same realm, who can compete with him? Once he becomes a saint, he may be the strongest in the world. The gods of the starry sky merman race had extremely complicated eyes. The gods of the human race had excitement in their eyes. They were extremely excited. This is a genius, a real genius, enough to suppress a generation. On the battlefield, Yu Jie was stunned on the spot. His attack was easily resolved by Lin Mo Yu. He didn't understand the method Lin Mo Yu used, but he could clearly feel that his face was slapped hard. Lin Mo Yu's punch really humiliated him. Yu Jie was furious, and a gem on the trident suddenly bloomed with light. The space at the tip of the trident was invisibly torn apart, creating terrifying space cracks. If it is a natural space crack, the damage to the little god is limited. But if someone controls the space crack, it can form various powerful attacks, and even the little god can't resist the damage. The people below were shocked when they saw Yu Jie's actions. Yu Jie used the space gem. The power of space in the space gem, combined with his water law, will double the power. But this can easily seriously injure people, isn't it too much? 450 inches. Yu Jie should have a sense of propriety. Don't forget that he is a royal bloodline. Although he hasn't awakened the power of space, he still has a certain degree of control over the power of space. Yu Qingru was not worried about Lin Mo Yu at all. Although she didn't know Lin Mo Yu's true strength, how could a guy who could be on the must-kill list of all races be simple? Her beautiful eyes flickered, and Yu Qingru said, "You guys prepare to save people." "Don't worry, princess, Yu Jie should have a sense of propriety." A little god next to him said immediately. Yu Qingru shook her head, not to save Lin Mo Yu, but to save Yu Jie. Ah! In the sky, Yu Jie roared and stabbed out with the trident. The space was suddenly shattered, and the trident pierced into the shattered space. The space behind Lin Mo Yu shattered at the same time, and the trident pierced out silently from behind. The trident was very fast, like lightning, and silent. But Lin Mo Yu moved faster. At the moment when the trident approached, he dodged sideways and reached out to hold the tip of the trident. The sharp trident rubbed against Lin Mo Yu's hand, sparking and making a harsh sound. Space cracks cut Lin Mo Yu's palm like sharp blades, but the white palm was unharmed. How is this possible? Yu Jie was stunned again. Ignoring the space cracks, ignoring the sharpness of the trident, what happened in front of him completely surpassed his understanding. Too weak, Lin Mo Yu then pulled, and an incomparably terrifying force erupted. Yu Jie was still holding the trident at this time, and he was uncontrollably pulled into the broken space in front of him. Chapter 1834. He's actually listening to music. Yu Jie only reacted when he entered the space crack, and a look of horror appeared on his handsome face. But it was too late. He rushed into the space crack completely uncontrollably, and then quickly drilled out from the other end. No one knew what he had experienced at this moment. His whole body armor was fragmented, as if it had been cut by countless sharp blades. Fortunately, he was a little god and powerful enough, and the space turbulence was not enough to kill him. It just looked a little embarrassed, but he was not injured. The space crack couldn't kill him, but the Lin Mo Yu in front of him was hard to say. Before Yu Jie could react, a fist was already coming towards him. The fist was like lightning, so fast that Yu Jie could hardly react. This punch hit Yu Jie's abdomen. With a bang, Yu Jie was smashed and flew out, hitting the formation in the sky like a meteor. The entire continent was rumbling. Fortunately the formation was strong enough. Yu Jie fell from the sky, falling like a meteor. Save people! Yu Qingru gave a light shout, and several little gods who had been prepared flew out immediately and caught Yu Jie. After some inspection, they found that Yu Jie had only passed out and was not injured, and they were relieved. At the same time, they were shocked. Lin Mo Yu's power was not only powerful, but his control was even more amazing. As little gods, they broke Yu Jie's spell with one punch, and directly knocked Yu Jie unconscious with another punch. They secretly compared themselves and realized they wouldn't fare much better. Their strength was only comparable to Yu Jie's, and except for Yu Qingru, no one dared to say they could steadily defeat Yu Jie. This showed that Lin Mo Yu was stronger than all of them. Lin Mo Yu looked down from above, surveying them. "Come at me together." This sentence seemed to be looking down on the starry sky fishmen, but for some reason, it felt natural. Among the starry sky fishmen, there were 10 lesser god sovereigns, and excluding the unconscious Yu Jie, there were still 9. Yu Qingru glanced at Lin Mo Yu, her beautiful eyes flickering. "You 8, go together." As a princess, and possibly the next clan leader, she held great authority within the clan. Not to mention these lesser god sovereigns, even the god sovereigns in the sky had to listen to her. Yu Qingru's position in the clan was comparable to that of several elders. With the elders absent, Yu Qingru's words were essentially commands. Yes. The 8 of them responded simultaneously, rising into the air together and surrounding Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled, cupping his fist in salute. Fellow cultivators, please don't be polite, feel free to attack. Knowing Lin Moyu's strength, they dared not underestimate him, nor dare hold back. The 8 of them attacked at the same time, and in an instant, laws surged, the ocean rose, and lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Among the 8, 6 controlled water-based laws, and the other 2 controlled lightning laws. Water-based law is a general term, which can be further subdivided internally, but the essence remains the same, and the difference is not particularly large. Lightning law is also a law commonly mastered among the starry sky fishmen. Moreover, their lightning law incorporated water properties, belonging to a type of yin lightning, which was not vigorous but had more terrifying destructive power. Especially when the 2 were combined, the power would increase exponentially. The rising ocean transformed into an enormous water ball, surrounding Lin Moyu. Lightning fell, and in an instant, electric snakes rolled in the ocean, turning into a true sea of lightning. A bit interesting, just wondering how powerful it is. A hint of interest rose in Lin Moyu's eyes. He had seen many seas of lightning, but this was the first time he had seen such a sea of lightning. Several lesser god sovereigns simultaneously took out their weapons, all of which were tridents. The tridents pointed at Lin Moyu at the same time. Lightning sea ice storm. In an instant, countless ice arrows shot out from the ocean, like a storm, heading towards Lin Moyu. The ice arrows carried rolling yin lightning, and the roaring sound shook the entire continent. The faces of the people on the ground changed slightly. This attack was very powerful, and when they imagined themselves in it, they realized they couldn't block it at all. The ice arrows came from all directions, and Lin Moyu had nowhere to dodge. In fact, Lin Moyu never thought about dodging. He stood still, letting the ice arrows fall on him. Lin Moyu's whole body glowed with golden light, not dazzling, but naturally carrying a kind of nobility. At this moment, he was like a scorching sun, becoming the focus of everyone's attention. The ice arrows melted instantly when illuminated by the golden light. The yin lightning on them also collapsed and disappeared in an instant. The 8 lesser god sovereigns of the starry sky fishmen looked shocked and increased their power again. The ice arrows became even more violent, but still could not touch Lin Moyu. The golden light became an indestructible barrier, impossible to break through. The people underground were in an uproar. What kind of spell is this? What a strong spell, but I can't feel the aura of law. Is it a law I haven't seen before? Could it be that a new law has appeared? Is there a possibility that this is not a law at all? In the distant sky, the god sovereign stared at this scene with wide eyes. The god sovereign of the starry sky fishmen said in disbelief, "The divine king's golden body has been completed." It's actually the divine king's golden body has been completed. The legendary physical body has actually been refined. All the geniuses of this generation will crawl at his feet. The human race is about to produce another war god. No wonder all the races want to kill him. How can such a person not be killed? It's too late to kill him now. The divine king's golden body has been completed. If he goes further, I'm afraid only those in the other shore realm can kill him. We have indeed been isolated from the world for too long. The god sovereigns marveled, their eyes revealing envy. If Lin Moyu were a starry sky fishman, how wonderful would that be? Facing the full siege of 8 lesser god sovereigns, Lin Moyu merely stood there and blocked all attacks, leaving them helpless. Lin Moyu's strength was despairing, he was naturally invincible. Lin Moyu smiled freely, "If you fellow cultivators have no other spells, then I will attack." At this moment, Yu Qingru's voice came, "Use the song of the fishmen." Yes. The 8 of them received the order at the same time, and blue light lit up on the 8 tridents simultaneously. The song suddenly started, and a fishman appeared above the ocean. The fishman was 1,000 meters tall, covered in a thin layer of mist, with a human upper body and a fish lower body. As soon as she appeared, songs rang out in the world. Everyone felt a tremor in their souls. Someone exclaimed in horror, "Soul attack spell. I didn't expect the starry sky fishmen to have such a spell." If law attacks are ineffective, then switch to soul attacks, it's indeed a good idea. Lin Moyu watched the fishman in the sky with interest. A bit interesting. A lesser god sovereign said, Brother Lin, we still lack control over the song of the fishmen, please forgive us if it causes you any harm. If you can't hold on, please surrender immediately, we will stop immediately. Lin Moyu smiled. It's okay, feel free to attack. The 8 of them exerted their strength at the same time, their souls seemed to be connected as one, erupting with amazing power. The fishman began to sing, and a powerful soul attack swept out. The faces of the people underground changed drastically. Although the soul attack was not aimed at them, it still made them feel fear. Especially those lesser gods in the transcendent god realm, their souls were pitifully weak and couldn't resist at all. In just a few seconds, they all felt their souls about to collapse. Yu Qingru waved her hand casually, and an invisible barrier formed immediately. The barrier formed by the law of space firmly blocked all soul attacks. They were already like this, so the pressure Lin Moyu, as the target of the attack, was under was imaginable. Looking at Lin Moyu again, he actually closed his eyes and smiled. That appearance, was he listening to the song? Chapter 1835. I want to see where the limit of the physical body is. Lin Moyu closed his eyes, seemingly enjoying the song. To others, the deadly soul attack was like a gentle breeze to him. His soul quality was too high, and he completely ignored the mere soul attack. This is impossible. The faces of the 8 lesser god sovereigns changed at the same time. They didn't believe it. Law attacks were useless, and even soul attacks would be ineffective. This was their trump card, which they would not use easily. They desperately urged their soul power, and the song became rapid, full of killing intent. The god sovereigns in the distance also frowned. Lin Mo's soul is unexpectedly so strong. I'm afraid his soul has reached grade 4, so he can ignore soul attacks. It should be like this. Divine King Golden Body perfected, grade 4 soul, truly enviable. The human race divine venerables all wore smiles, but remained silent. Being here, they were all core figures of their respective families, knowing more or less some inside information. According to what they knew, Lin Mo's soul was not simply grade 4. Lin Mo frowned as he listened to the singing. There's a reaction. He has a reaction. The 8 lesser divine venerables, seeing Lin Mo frown, thought Lin Mo was feeling the power of the soul attack. Lin Mo slowly opened his eyes, the singing is disordered, not as pleasant as before. A small and exquisite soul-shooting bow appeared above 727's head, then the bowstring was drawn, forming a purple arrow. The arrow flew out with a whoosh, instantly appearing on the merman's body. The merman exploded in response, and the 8 lesser divine venerables simultaneously groaned, their joint spell instantly shattered. The 8 people looked pale. Lin Mo's arrow shattered their combined souls. However, Lin Mo also showed mercy, not injuring them. Lin Mo softly asked, "Want to continue?" The 8 people looked at each other, unable to fight at all. The difference in strength was too great. They felt that facing Lin Mo was more terrifying than facing a divine venerable. Invincible physical defense, a ridiculously strong soul, simply flawless. The 8 people exchanged glances, making a decision. Thank you, Brother Lin, for showing mercy. We concede. Brother Lin is powerful, we are no match. Several people conceded frankly. They really couldn't win, no need to stubbornly resist. The 8 people, with a hint of weakness, returned to Yu Qingru, each lowering their heads, feeling unable to lift them. Yu Qingru said, "It's okay, it's not that you are weak, it's that he is too strong." Back when he was still in the true god realm, he dared to challenge divine venerables. Now that he is a lesser divine venerable, I'm afraid killing divine venerables is not a problem. You lost without injustice. It's only that my race has been isolated from the world for many years, understanding too little about the outside world. Saying this, she raised her head, looking at Lin Mo. Have you killed a divine venerable? She asked frankly, and Lin Mo smiled casually. I have. How many have you killed? I haven't counted, about 100 or so. This answer stunned everyone on the spot. A lesser divine venerable, not to mention killing a divine venerable, even if he could fight a divine venerable to a draw, would be considered awesome, enough of a genius. If he could reverse kill a divine venerable, that would be a top genius, and there wouldn't be many people in each race who could do it. But Lin Mo's answer was that he had killed them, and about 100 or so. Was this still a person? Everyone wanted to ask, are you really a lesser divine venerable? Could it be a divine venerable pretending? However, they all felt that Lin Mo's words were not bragging, but real. There was a reason why the various races listed him as the top of the must-kill list. Lin Mo smiled. Princess Ru, are you still fighting? Yu Qingru slowly rose into the air. Although I can't beat you, I still want to try. Lin Mo extended his hand. Then please, princess, make your move, no need to hold back. Yu Qingru's eyes instantly became sharp, the space around her automatically shattered, and a mysterious aura of the law of space reverberated between heaven and earth. The law of space was also among the best in the first echelon of laws. Yu Qingru was born with mastery of the law of space, and has cultivated it all the way to the present, controlling the law of space with ease. Lin Mo had also come into contact with the law of space, but his method of using it was simple and crude, without any beauty at all. How could it be like Yu Qingru, the law of space flowing around her? Wherever the law passed, the space rolled up in layers of ripples, either shattering or bending, all changing according to her will. Lin Mo watched Yu Qingru with admiring eyes. Your law is stronger than it was back then. Yu Qingru softly said, your strength is also stronger than it was back then. Saying this, a silver light flashed, and a silver longsword appeared in her hand. At the same time, a jade box appeared beside her, and a small sword flew out of the jade box, rotating and flying around her. Two swords, one large and one small, reflected each other, constantly resonating. I'm attacking, Yu Qingru reminded, pointing her longsword at Lin Mo. The small sword flew out like lightning, instantly disappearing. The space beside Lin Mo silently shattered, and the small sword instantly rushed out of the shattered space, stabbing towards Lin Mo's head. Lin Mo slightly tilted his head to avoid the small sword, while reaching out to grab it. At this moment, the space around the small sword shattered again, and the small sword disappeared without a trace. Lin Mo grabbed empty air. Yu Qingru appeared in front of Lin Mo like a teleport at this moment, wielding the longsword in her hand. Large areas of space collapsed, and countless space fragments turned into sharp blades, enveloping Lin Mo. Golden light bloomed, and the Divine King golden body was automatically triggered, blocking all space fragments. The space fragments hit the golden light, making a metallic impact sound, and the entire space was shaking. Layers of waves surged out of the space, causing the space of a large starry sky to vibrate together. The watching crowd all groaned, feeling their bodies about to be torn apart and their souls being pulled. A divine venerable of the starry sky merman race immediately took action, throwing out a pearl-like magic weapon. The magic weapon came in front of everyone, emitting a soft light, blocking the twisted space. Everyone was horrified, just the aftermath was not something they could resist. Everyone had a further understanding of Yu Qingru's strength. The law of space was indeed terrifyingly strong. Lin Mo stood in the void turbulence, punching towards Yu Qingru. The fist was like lightning, but Yu Qingru was faster. She manipulated the law of space, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. Lin Mo couldn't touch her at all. Because the speed was too fast, many Yu Qingru appeared in the sky. A large number of afterimages, confusing the line of sight. Yu Qingru's attacks were extremely fierce, densely packed and slashing at Lin Mo. But Lin Mo's defense was too strong, and Yu Qingru's law of space couldn't hurt Lin Mo at all. Lin Mo stood still, just the Divine King golden body was enough to make him invincible. But he seemed to have no way to deal with Yu Qingru. No matter how many punches he threw, he couldn't hit Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru's voice sounded in Lin Mo's ear, why aren't you fighting back? She knew Lin Mo's strength very well. Now Lin Mo hadn't used his true combat power at all. It could be said that Lin Mo was playing with her. Lin Mo smiled, I want to see where the limit of my physical body is. Yu Qingru was immediately exasperated. Lin Mo actually wanted to use her to test the limits of his physical body. Then let you try. Yu Qingru bit her silver teeth, and the sword stance suddenly changed. The starry sky shattered, and countless space forces surged, forming a 1,000-meter giant sword. The giant sword was translucent, like crystal, reflecting the light of the starry sky. The giant sword slashed towards Lin Mo. Lin Mo's whole body tightened, and the space around him was locked, he had nowhere to escape. Watching the giant sword crash down, Lin Mo made a fist to meet it. Boom! The giant sword shattered, exploding like fireworks, and at the same time shattering the space. Deep banishment. Yu Qingru shouted softly, the already shattered space collapsed again, revealing the deep space. The next second, Yu Qingru appeared beside Lin Mo. With a wave of her jade hand, the two disappeared without a trace. Chapter 1836. Then will you accompany me? Lin Mo and Yu Qingru disappeared together. Not only did the people disappear, but even their auras disappeared completely. The human race god Venerable now looked puzzled. Where did they go? The merman race god Venerable smiled and said, they should have gone to the deep space. The human race god Venerable's expression changed slightly. The deep space is too dangerous, even you and I would be in danger inside. The merman race god Venerable was not worried at all. The princess often travels in the deep space. With her here, there will be no danger. Thinking about it, it was true. Yu Qingru controlled the laws of space. Entering the deep space was not difficult for her. The human race god Venerable was also relieved. As long as Lin Mo did not appear, then everything would be fine. The merman race god Venerable now had a smile on his face. In their opinion, as long as they entered the deep space, Yu Qingru would basically be guaranteed to win. Even they had to deal with the energy turbulence in the deep space carefully. No matter how strong Lin Mo's God King golden body was, he would still have a headache inside. On the contrary, Yu Qingru entering the deep space was like a fish returning home. That was her world. In the deep space, various colors of light flew around randomly, forming gorgeous light bands, which were unusually beautiful. The beauty contained terrifying danger. These lights were spatial turbulence, enough to kill God Venerables. The spatial turbulence collided with him, and the God King golden body actively bloomed, blocking the impact of the spatial turbulence. The force of the impact was very strong, and Lin Mo could not avoid swaying slightly. He felt a trace of the power belonging to the rules from the spatial turbulence, the power of natural rules. This was not the first time he had come to the deep space. He had entered the deep space when he obtained the ancestral water ancient well at that time. It was just that the deep space of the ancestral water ancient well was relatively peaceful, unlike the deep space in front of him, which was so chaotic. Yu Qingru was surrounded by silver light, and the light isolated all spatial turbulence. When the spatial turbulence touched her, it would go around her, and would not cause any harm to her at all. This was Yu Qingru's real home field. Yu Qingru had already put away the two swords, one large and one small. She came to Lin Mo's side, and let the silver brilliance around her envelope Lin Mo. Is it beautiful? Lin Mo looked at the deep space, and then at Yu Qingru, and said, both are beautiful. A hint of a smile appeared in Yu Qingru's eyes. Are you praising me, or praising this deep space? Lin Mo smiled, praising both. Yu Qingru laughed. When did you become so eloquent? Lin Mo said, I'm just telling the truth. Did you bring me here just to see the scenery? Yu Qingru stretched, showing off her beautiful figure. I don't want to fight with you. If it wasn't for the elder's order, I wouldn't have wanted to take action this time. At this moment, she had a hint of laziness, but the aloofness in her expression still existed. This was Yu Qingru's true appearance. Lin Mo asked, then how will you explain to the elders when you go back? Yu Qingru sighed, just say I can't beat you, just admit defeat. Besides, this is also the truth, I really can't beat you. Lin Mo smiled, if you go all out, I won't be able to hit you either, you can tie with me. Yu Qingru shook her head, I don't like to avoid. The implication was that she was not interested in this kind of evasive fighting style. She preferred head-on attacks, which was quite in line with her temperament. Lin Mo admired the beautiful and dangerous scenery in the deep space, and suddenly asked, do you know the water of myriad colors? Yu Qingru looked at Lin Mo in confusion. The answer was self-evident, indicating that she did not know. Lin Mo was afraid that the name was different, so he took out a drop of the water of myriad colors. It's this thing. The water of myriad colors, which contained infinite colors, with a hazy aura, firmly grasped Yu Qingru's gaze. How beautiful! Yu Qingru exclaimed, without concealing her love for it. Lin Mo then remembered that the starry sky merman race was naturally fond of water. And the water of myriad colors was also known as the ancestor of myriad waters, so it would naturally attract the starry sky merman race. I'll give it to you. Lin Mo sent the water of myriad colors to Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru carefully took it, her eyes never leaving the water of myriad colors. Looking at her appearance, Lin Mo knew that she had never seen the water of myriad colors. In the deep space under the dark void, there was an ancestral water ancient well, which would gush out the water of myriad colors. Moreover, in that space, there was no spatial turbulence, except for the spatial surges caused by the black tide. It was usually very calm. It formed a sharp contrast with the deep space in front of him. In addition, there were restrictions on obtaining the ancestral water ancient well, powerful and terrifying soul attacks. Lin Mo suddenly realized that the space filled with the ancestral water ancient well was not naturally formed. The ancestral water ancient well was artificially arranged. the purpose was to obtain the water of myriad colors. To be able to open up such a peaceful area in the deep space, the strength of this person was unimaginable. Lin Mo could not help but ask, can you open up an eternally existing, very peaceful independent space in the deep space? Yu Qingru's eyes changed instantly. She looked at Lin Mo like she was looking at a fool. The look on her face was saying, what are you thinking? How is this possible? Zero ask for flowers. Yu Qingru said very definitely, it's impossible to do it, even the most powerful elders can only cut off a piece in the surface space to form an independent space. And it's not an eternal independent space, it must be reinforced every once in a while. It is absolutely impossible to open up an independent space in the deep space. Lin Mo sighed, and thought to himself, it's not absolutely impossible, it's just that the strength is not enough. The Saint Venerable can't do it, what about the Supreme? Or even a being stronger than the Supreme? The current Saint Venerable can't do it, the strong people of the ancient times may not be able to do it. Lin Mo kept his doubts, maybe one day in the future he would be able to figure it out. After Yu Qingru finished speaking, her attention returned to the water of myriad colors again. I can feel that it is very special, there is a kind of unspeakable intimacy. What is the use of this thing called the water of myriad colors? Lin Mo explained the function of the water of myriad colors. This was not a secret. Yu Qingru could also know if she went back and asked the elders in the clan. Yu Qingru's eyes lit up when she heard it. It turned out to be the ancestor of myriad waters. There has always been a legend in our clan that our merman race was born from the ocean, but not the ordinary ocean, but the oldest and most primitive ocean in the starry sky. I think, could we have been born from the water of myriad colors, otherwise why would I feel so close to it? Lin Mo said, perhaps it's possible. Yu Qingru put away the water of myriad colors and smiled, thank you, I like your gifts very much. Jade box small sword, 7-colored essence fire, water of myriad colors. The jade box small sword originally belonged to Yu Qingru, it was an item from the previous life, so it was also hers. Lin Mo had no use for it either, he couldn't even see the magic weapon of the God King realm. The 7-colored essence fire was originally prepared for her because of the friendship between the two on the Vermilion Bird battlefield. As for the water of myriad colors, it was a surprise, it was just a drop, which was a drop in the bucket for Lin Mo. Moreover, this discussion between the human race and the merman race was very important, and Yu Qingru's position in the clan was also extraordinary. His various actions would affect the plans of the human race's high-level officials. 3 things may bring greater returns to the human race. The two stayed in the deep space for a while. Yu Qingru restrained her smile. We have to go back, actually I like it here very much, it's quiet and undisturbed. Lin Mo smiled, I'll have a chance to come again in the future. Then will you stay with me? I can. Chapter 1837. See you then. The two left the deep space, and Yu Qingru took Lin Moyu back to where they were. Seeing that the two were safe and sound, the human race godly sovereigns breathed a sigh of relief. They were really afraid that something would happen to either of them. If anything happened, the cooperation between the human race and the fishmen would be completely over. Yu Qingru was a princess in the Starry Sky Fishmen clan, with a pivotal position. Lin Moyu was registered in front of the Holy Sovereign, and his position was also not low. Fortunately, both of them are back now, and they both look well. Yu Qingru took a few steps back and said loudly, I admit defeat. The gazes of several fishmen swept over, seemingly a little surprised. Yu Qingru just nodded slightly, not caring about their gazes, and turned to leave. Lin Moyu landed slowly, and the competition between the two races came to an end. The existence of Lin Moyu seemed to have become a high wall, an insurmountable wall for his peers. When others looked at Lin Moyu, there was more awe in their eyes, and some even dared not approach. Shu Qingyong didn't care at all, rushed over first, wanting to hug Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu reacted extremely quickly and immediately avoided it. Shu Qingyong laughed and said, Junior brother Lin, don't be shy. Lin Moyu looked at him and quietly uttered a word, scram. Shu Qingyong was not angry at all, then I won't hug you, Junior brother Lin, let me ask you, is it true that you killed a godly sovereign? Lin Moyu nodded, it's true. Shu Qingyong asked again, then can you tell me how you killed him? Lin Moyu shook his head, go ask Holy Sovereign Fu, he should know. Shu Qingyong's face suddenly collapsed, ask the ancestor, I'm afraid of being beaten to death by him. Lin Moyu thought for a while, there is another way. Shu Qingyang's eyes lit up. Tell me quickly. When you become the other shore, you can see it in the Human Emperor Network. Shu Qingyang was speechless for a while. This method is no different from saying nothing. Amidst everyone's awe, Lin Moyu left the crowd and came to the coast, randomly found a place and sat down. He contacted the Human Emperor Network and sent a message to Holy Sovereign Hao, I won. After a while, he received a reply from Holy Sovereign Hao, also only 2 words, not bad. His task was completed, and what followed was the Holy Sovereign's business. Until now, Lin Moyu didn't know what the 2 races were discussing. Yu Qingru seemed to know something, but Lin Moyu didn't ask her. Lin Moyu knew very well that if the Holy Sovereigns didn't say it, there was a reason. When it was time to know, he would naturally know. The exchange between the human race and the starry sky fishmen continued. The competition was over, but it didn't prevent normal communication. Especially the human race's delicacies and wines, which were particularly attractive to the fishmen. In the following 2 days, Yu Qingru never appeared again. He had used the undead vision to see, but he didn't see Yu Qingru's soul. Lin Moyu knew she was gone, but he didn't know where she went. With the space laws, she could come and go freely in most places. But this was God City, the territory of the Human Emperor Network. No matter how strong Yu Qingru's space laws were, she couldn't hide it from the Human Emperor Network. If anything happened, the Human Emperor Network would solve it as soon as possible. Lin Moyu always felt that the Human Emperor Network was terrible, even more terrible than Holy Sovereign Hao. On the 3rd day, Lin Moyu felt something and looked into the distance. In the ocean, Yu Qingru appeared there, stepping on the waves, walking gracefully. She changed back to a silver dress, with less coldness and more gentleness. Yu Qingru came to Lin Moyu's side, sat down with Lin Moyu, and didn't say anything. After a while, Lin Moyu said, "Is it done?" Yu Qingru nodded, "It's done, but there will be other things soon." Lin Moyu didn't ask. Yu Qingru looked at him strangely, "Aren't you curious?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "We humans have a saying that curiosity killed the cat, so I'm not curious about some things." "What is a cat?" Yu Qingru didn't understand. Lin Moyu explained with a smile, "In our human race, there is a pet called a cat. It is said that a cat has 9 lives, but it has a very strong curiosity, and it loses all 9 lives for curiosity. There is such a pet." Yu Qingru was amused, and her laughter was like silver bells, very melodious, "Then you can send me one in the future." Lin Moyu immediately agreed, "No problem." Yu Qingru seemed very happy, "Then it's settled, I will always remember it." The 2 fell silent again. After a while, Yu Qingru spoke again, "Actually, it's not that I can't tell you, but once I say it, it will cause many variables in the plan." Once said, "It will cause variables in the plan." This sentence churned in Lin Moyu's mind. Combining all his previous guesses, he vaguely understood something. He stretched out his finger and wrote a word on the beach with the laws as a pen, Buddha. Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes lit up and she nodded slightly. Lin Moyu got a definite answer. The starry sky fishmen are indeed going to make a comeback, and the star field they want to occupy after their comeback is the star field where the Buddhist clan is now located. Coincidentally, the human race also took this opportunity to attack the Buddhist clan. The relationship between the human race and the Buddhist clan is very peculiar. The Buddhist clan claims to be neutral and does not participate in any racial disputes. But in fact, they have been secretly taking action. And the Buddhist clan will convert some people from the human race every once in a while. Their methods of conversion are very powerful, and many of the people who are converted are geniuses. Unconsciously, the grievances between the 2 races have accumulated in this way. Secondly, the human race actually hates wallflowers like the Buddhist clan. They are not afraid of open fights, but secretly shooting cold arrows is the most disgusting. If the human race wants to attack the Buddhist clan, it is completely reasonable. The reason why it cannot be said is because it involves 2 major laws, namely the law of karma and the law of destiny. What is said and what is done will affect the law of karma. Although no one in the Buddhist clan has comprehended the law of karma, they possess treasures of the law of karma. Through some special secret methods, perhaps the Buddhist clan can learn some information and prepare in advance. Another important reason is the law of destiny. There are past Buddha and future Buddha in the Buddhist clan. Both Buddhas have comprehended the law of destiny, but neither has comprehended it completely. The past Buddha comprehends the past part of the law of destiny, and he can see what happened in the past. The future Buddha comprehends the future part of the law of destiny, and he can foresee what may happen in the future. The two can be added together to deduce and know what will happen in the future. But this kind of deduction is not omnipotent and requires many conditions. The human race must have made arrangements to use some special magic weapons to cover it up. And we have not made any arrangements on our side. If it is said, it will be sensed. Lin Moyu has a deep understanding of the special nature of the law of destiny. He has only touched some of the fur, like the future Buddha, who has studied the law of destiny for countless years and is much stronger than himself. Yu Qingru said softly, "The results are out, and the elders will be here soon." Lin Moyu looked into the distance. "Are you participating?" Yu Qingru smiled, "Of course, I am a princess, how can I be absent?" "Then see you then," Lin Moyu said softly. He would not be absent either. He once said that he would definitely go to the Buddhist clan. Many things from the past need to be understood. Yu Qingru was not surprised that Lin Moyu would attend, and smiled, "See you then." Chapter 1838. The difference between Saint Venerable and other shore. Half a day later, the continent appeared outside the port star of the Divine City Star region. The special warship of the Starry Sky Fish human race was parked there, marking the end of their trip. Yu Qingru left without saying goodbye to Lin Moyu. They both knew that this visit was just the beginning, and they would meet again soon. Lin Moyu looked at the warship of the Starry Sky Fish human race. From its appearance, it was very different from the warships of the human race. On the surface of the warship, there seemed to be water ripples, like a large fish parked in the starry sky. The warship exuded a sense of vastness and showed traces of time. Lin Moyu was certain that the warship had existed for a long time. After the Starry Sky Fish human race returned to the warship quickly started and left the human race Divine City along the prescribed route. Everyone, leave the continent, enter the port star, and return through the teleportation array. Everyone on the continent received information from the Human Emperor Network. Everyone did as they were told. The information from the Human Emperor Network was equivalent to an order in many situations. Shu Qingyang came over again. "Junior brother Lin, what exactly were you talking about with Princess Ru?" Lin Moyu glanced at Shu Qingyang, a teasing look in his eyes. "Are you sure you want to know?" Shu Qingyang also looked at Lin Moyu, and his heart skipped a beat. He immediately shook his head. Forget it, don't tell me, I don't want to know. I feel like if I listen, it definitely won't be good." Lin Moyu smiled noncommittally. He didn't believe what Shu Qingyang said. Shu Qingyang looked like a fool, but he was actually very shrewd inside. For example, he looked like he was infatuated with Yu Qingru, but that was not the case at all. Shu Qingyang was born into the Shu family, which controlled all the intelligence information of the human race, and his ancestor was a Saint Venerable. With such a family and countless talents, being sent here, this guy was definitely not as unreliable as he seemed. Lin Moyu thought he might know something about the matters between the two races this time. But he probably didn't know very clearly. The group came to the port star and then returned to their respective families through the teleportation array. Lin Moyu heard the voice of House Saint Venerable, "Do not resist." The next second, Lin Moyu felt a darkness in front of him, and his whole body was wrapped in an invisible and powerful force, flying towards a certain place. In the eyes of everyone, Lin Moyu disappeared abruptly, without any warning. Many people showed surprise in their eyes. Only small divine venerables like Shu Qingyang, whose families had other shore realm ancestors, could see a clue. Shu Qingyang just felt the power of rules flash by, and he realized that another shore realm had descended and taken Lin Moyu away. Shu Qingyang murmured to himself, something really happened. His eyes became clear and wise, not like his usual self at all. Then he shook his head and smiled, "But what does it have to do with me? I finally got reborn, enjoying life is the right way. Even if the sky falls, there are tall people to hold it up, it won't be my turn anyway. Go home, drink, sleep, find girls. ... When Lin Moyu regained his vision, he found himself in an unfamiliar starry sky. In this starry sky, there were tens of thousands of planets and hundreds of stars. Star systems were densely packed together, looking a bit cramped. Lin Moyu had never seen such a strange starry sky before. Most importantly, the aura of laws here was very weak, as if a powerful force had dispelled all laws. Lin Moyu felt that his undying law was also suppressed and uncomfortable. How Saint Venerable appeared silently beside Lin Moyu. How do you feel? This place is a bit strange. Where is this? Lin Moyu asked instinctively. How Saint Venerable laughed. This is my rule world. I call it the Void Starry Sky. Rule world. Lin Moyu heard this name for the first time. How Saint Venerable smiled. The rule world is the biggest difference between a Saint Venerable and an ordinary other shore realm. Although Lin Moyu didn't understand what the rule world was, he already understood that another shore realm with a rule world could be called a Saint Venerable. And those without a rule world were ordinary other shore realms. Lin Moyu guessed that the strength between ordinary other shore realms and Saint Venerables was vastly different. The reason for this was probably because of this rule world. How Saint Venerable said, the rule world is the most core place of a Saint Venerable. Generally, others are not allowed to enter. Do you know why I let you in? Lin Moyu thought for a while. You have something to say to me, right? How Saint Venerable laughed loudly. Smart, it seems you have guessed something. Lin Moyu looked around the rule world. Although all kinds of laws were greatly suppressed here, there were still traces of laws transmitted from the outside world. It was indeed isolated from the world, but not completely isolated. Lin Moyu knew that if he talked about specific matters here, he would still be captured by the law of fate. Lin Moyu thought for a while. When are you planning to take action? How Saint Venerable increasingly felt that Lin Moyu was a genius, not only strong in cultivation but also so meticulous in his thinking. 1 month later, there are still some preparations to be made. This time I'm looking for you. I also want to ask you, will you participate? Lin Moyu nodded without hesitation. Of course, I also have some things to settle with them. How Saint Venerable said, but I want to remind you in advance, there may be danger, some accidents are difficult to predict. Lin Moyu knew what How Saint Venerable meant. The strength of the Buddhist clan on the surface was not necessarily their true strength, there might be hidden parts. So, until the real action, How Saint Venerable couldn't say whether there would be any accidents. Lin Moyu said, it's normal, after all, everyone has trump cards. In the great world, danger is everywhere, this is not much. And if I don't go, our sacrifices will increase dramatically. Lin Moyu's thoughts were exactly what How Saint Venerable was thinking. Lin Moyu had a legion of undead, and he alone could be worth several group armies. As long as Lin Moyu was there, the casualties of the human race could be reduced several times. How Saint Venerable said softly, if there is danger, remember to evacuate as soon as possible, your safety is more important than anyone else. Lin Moyu nodded, don't worry, I cherish my life. It's just a pity that the time is a bit short, a month is not enough for me to enter the Divine Venerable. How Saint Venerable immediately said, this is the second thing I want to tell you, don't rush to enter the Divine Venerable, if you win this time, you may get a good thing. When entering the Divine Venerable, if you have this thing to help, it will be of great benefit to the future. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up, obviously interested. Okay, I hope I can gain something by then. I also want to take advantage of this time to polish my body and control my power. To be honest, I was just caught by you after refining my body this time, and my control over my power is very poor. Holy Honored One snorted, excessive modesty is just pride. The two seemed to be playing charades, yet they understood each other perfectly, a mutual understanding. A month's time, neither long nor short. Lin Mo casually found a discarded star to temper his physical body. Golden essence flowed through every corner of his body, leaving no tiny spot untouched. He carefully felt the rhythm of his body, fully controlling his physical power. His physical body was already at the great accomplishment of the God King realm, but his control over his body was not perfect, and there was still room for improvement. Chapter 1839. A corner of the War God Hall's strength. A month allowed Lin Mo to reach a new level of control over his own power. Almost every day, he could feel the improvement in his strength. The upper limit didn't change, but his control over his power continuously improved, becoming more and more precise, gradually reaching the level of subtlety. A month later, Holy Honored One's warship appeared before Lin Mo. The warship's gate opened, and Lin Mo transformed into a golden ray, shooting into the warship. Space twisted, and the warship jumped into space and disappeared. The Buddhist clan, land of ultimate bliss. The future Buddha's Buddha pagoda once again emitted a brilliant light. Inside the Buddha pagoda, the future Buddha, past Buddha, and present Buddha formed a triangle, sitting and looking at each other. How is it? The present Buddha asked in a low voice. The future Buddha chanted a Buddhist prayer. Nothing, the future is still unclear, the laws of fate are being interfered with. The future Buddha's eyes were filled with doubt as he looked at the past Buddha. The past Buddha also frowned at this moment, the images of the past are also being interfered with, and cannot be seen clearly. The present Buddha said in a deep voice, some time ago, tens of thousands of Buddhist disciples were sent out, they formed good relationships and entered various clans, but they didn't get any useful information. In the last few days, the last batch of disciples will also return one after another, hopefully bringing some new information. The three were all confused, not understanding what was happening. The laws of fate were being interfered with by an invisible force, surely a holy honored one had taken action. But interfering with the laws of fate wasn't necessarily targeting their Buddhist clan. In history, there had been several instances of the laws of fate being interfered with, although large battles always occurred in the end, they had nothing to do with the Buddhist clan. They claimed neutrality, staying out of everything, and their clan's strength wasn't weak, generally no clan would be foolish enough to provoke them. The present Buddha said in a low voice, since we can't see the past or the future, then we will temporarily close the Buddha world, cutting off contact with the outside world. After everything is clear, we will restart the Buddha world. What do the two Buddhas think? The future Buddha and past Buddha responded at the same time, agreed, after this last batch of disciples returns, we will temporarily close the Buddha world. A huge palace floated in the starry sky, holy honored one's worship appeared before the palace. The palace was incomparably huge, with a diameter exceeding 100,000 kilometers, holy honored one's worship was like a speck of dust in front of the palace. Lin Mo saw the palace, this is the War God Fortress. The palace's style was very similar to the War God Hall, but it also had the characteristics of a fortress, revealing a strong sense of solemnity. This time what appeared wasn't a replica, but the real War God Fortress. Holy honored one chuckled, that's right, the War God Fortress. At this moment, the tightly closed gate opened a crack, and Holy Honored One controlled the warship to fly in. The gate closed again, the hall wasn't dim, at the top, there was a small star providing light for the entire fortress. This star had obviously been specially refined, it emitted light, while also emitting warmth in an extremely gentle manner. The entire interior of the hall was bathed in sunlight, very warm. The hall was very empty, with floating round platforms. Each round platform had a diameter of neither more nor less, exactly 10 meters. Each round platform had a person standing on it, their aura was awe-inspiring, all of them were God Sovereigns. Looking around, there were at least 100,000 God Sovereigns here. The 100,000 God Sovereigns wore uniform attire, with a unified War God Hall symbol on their cuffs, they were all people from the War God Hall. Lin Mo was slightly shocked, the War God Hall's strength exceeded his imagination. Among the human race, the War God Hall had always been very mysterious. Because of the existence of the War God's inheritance, the War God Hall's position had always been supreme. They usually never took action, even if there was a war, the War God Hall would at most have elders come forward, doing some helping, never being the main force in the war. No one knew what the War God Hall's people were busy with, or what they did. Some people had suspected that the War God Hall was just a hollow name, but no one had any evidence. Furthermore, this kind of argument couldn't appear on the Human Emperor network, people who spoke randomly would definitely be punished. After entering the Great World, Lin Mo had also contacted the War God Hall several times. Towards the War God Hall, he held awe, he also knew that the War God Hall's strength must be extraordinary, he just didn't expect it to be so strong. 100,000 God Sovereigns, definitely not the War God Hall's entire strength. The War God Hall's terrifying nature was evident. Lin Mo and Holy Honored One left the warship, in an instant, countless gazes fell on the two of them. The pressure of the God Sovereigns came head-on, Holy Honored One naturally wouldn't feel anything, Lin Mo was the same, not feeling anything. He followed Holy Honored One, rising all the way, flying to a higher place. Lin Mo also discovered that although the round platforms were the same, and God Sovereigns were standing on them, the positions were particular. The lower the position, the weaker the God Sovereign's strength. Overall, the round platforms could be divided into 5 areas. God Sovereigns of the 1st to 3rd rank were in the first area, which was also the lowest area. God Sovereigns of the 4th to 6th rank were in the second area. God Sovereigns of the 7th rank were in the 3rd area, above that were God Sovereigns of the 8th rank and peak God Sovereigns. The higher the area, the fewer the people. Of the 100,000 God Sovereigns, at least 50,000 God Sovereigns were in the 1st area, with realms in the God Sovereign 1st to 3rd rank. The number of God Sovereigns in the 2nd area exceeded 40,000. Starting from the high-rank God Sovereigns, the numbers sharply decreased. There were about 8,000 God Sovereigns of the 7th rank. There were less than 2,000 God Sovereigns of the 8th rank. There were only 100 peak God Sovereigns. These areas basically formed a triangular structure, the higher up, the fewer the people. This completely matched the situation of the Great World. If the War God Hall could now produce 10,000 peak God Sovereigns, that would be a miracle. The 5 areas were distinct, with strict levels. No matter where it was, strength was the deciding factor. Lin Mo's arrival caused the astonishment of these God Sovereigns. They didn't understand why a small God Sovereign had come. But Holy Honored One was by Lin Mo's side, so these God Sovereigns had to hold back whatever they wanted to say. Lin Mo looked at the gazes of these God Sovereigns, and transmitted his voice to Holy Honored One. Don't they know what they are going to do? Holy Honored One said in a low voice, they don't know yet. At the moment of about to take action, they still don't know who their target is. This secrecy work is indeed well done. The key is that these God Sovereigns are not anxious at all, and have no objections. It seems that the usual rules are also extremely strict. The two arrived at the highest point, where there was a platform, just like a command platform, high above. On the command platform, there were 10 people sitting cross-legged. Among the 10 people, Lin Moyu recognized several, namely Killing Saint, Symbol Saint, Old Lin, and Zhu Qiwu. With the presence of Hao Saint, Zhu Qiwu appeared very obedient, keeping his head down and remaining silent. Only when Lin Moyu arrived did he nod and smile at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't recognize the other 6, but their attire from the War God Temple clearly indicated their identities. Mom is good, 1 saint and 5 other side, Lin Moyu muttered in his heart. The strength of the War God Temple was indeed extraordinary. In addition to the 100,000 God Sovereigns, they also mobilized 5 other side experts and 1 saint this time. This kind of strength was enough to crush most races. The person has been brought. War Saint spoke, his gaze falling on Lin Moyu. Hao Saint introduced, his name is War Saint, and he is one of the Hall Masters of the War God Temple. He is also leading this operation. Lin Moyu immediately bowed to War Saint. Junior Lin Moyu greets War Saint. War Saint smiled slightly, no need to be so polite. Afterward, Hao Saint introduced the other 5 other side experts, and Lin Moyu greeted them one by one. The 5 other side experts from the War God Temple were also very interested in Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's reputation was too great, and even they had heard of him in the War God Temple. After exchanging greetings, War Saint spoke, Symbol Saint, let's begin. All right, Symbol Saint outlined an ancient rune in the void. The rune exploded, instantly sweeping across the entire War God Temple. Chapter 1840. No mercy, leave no one alive. The laws are broken. The lines of laws shattered one after another. In the blink of an eye, the War God Fortress lost its connection to the Great World. At this moment, the War God Fortress became an isolated island, and all the laws of the Great World could not enter it. All the God Sovereigns revealed discomfort on their faces. They could not mobilize the laws or attract the river of laws. Now they could only rely on their own power of laws and the power of their physical bodies. Not to mention them, even the other side experts felt somewhat unnatural at this moment. However, they knew this would happen and remained calm. The saints were better off, as they had a world of rules and were not greatly affected. Lin Moyu felt his undying law being suppressed, making it difficult to exert its true power. Only the power of his physical body was unaffected. Lin Moyu became even more determined in his belief that the power of the physical body was very important, even more so than laws at certain times. Laws still relied on the great world, while the power of the physical body was purely one's own power. The saying that relying on oneself is better than relying on others is exactly this principle. After sensing for a while, Symbol Saint slowly spoke, all right, everything said here will not be sensed by anyone. The rune can only last for 10 minutes, so let's keep it short. War Saint nodded, rising into the air and gently tapping his finger in the void. The entire War God Fortress lit up, and the stars overhead projected various colors of light, weaving into a star map. 547 This was a star field map, not the human race's star field. It was densely packed with star systems, with as many as 1,000,000 large and small star systems. The overall scale looked similar to one of the human race's 4-star regions. All the god sovereigns knew that the main business was about to begin, and they stared intently at the star field, pricking up their ears. This is the Buddhist world of the Buddhist race, and it is also our target this time. As soon as these words came out, countless god sovereigns changed color. Only then did they realize that they were actually going to attack the Buddhist race. But no one raised any questions. As members of the War God Temple, from the moment they entered the War God Temple, they were taught to be warriors. Once a warrior enters the battlefield, they need to obey orders. Questions are allowed, but they cannot be raised before the order ends. War Saint continued, the Buddhist race's Buddhist world star field is divided into 3 layers. The outermost area belongs to those below Buddha. There are a large number of believers, cultivators of the Arhat realm, and cultivators of the Bodhisattva realm here. This is the most populous area, estimated to be around 10 trillion. The middle area belongs to the Buddhas, as well as some Bodhisattva realm cultivators, and some true believers and fanatics. According to the information we know, the number of Buddhas in the Buddhist race is approximately 50,000. As War Saint spoke, the star map also marked out different areas. The final area is the core of the Buddhist world, called the Land of Ultimate Bliss by the Buddhist race. Living in this area are ancient Buddhas and Buddha ancestors. War Saint did not specifically introduce the number of ancient Buddhas and Buddha ancestors. This number was meaningless to the god sovereigns. They did not need to face the ancient Buddhas and Buddha ancestors. Then War Saint began to introduce the specific tasks. All god sovereigns of the 1st to 3rd order will attack the outer area. All god sovereigns of the 4th to 6th order will cooperate with the higher order god sovereigns to attack the middle area. As for the Land of Ultimate Bliss, we will handle it. The purpose of this operation is slaughter, leave no one alive. Don't be soft-hearted. In the struggle between races, it's either you die or I die. You should all understand. Finally, one more thing to note. In addition to us, the starry sky fish human race will also take action. They are friends, not enemies. Hearing that the starry sky fish human race would also take action, the god sovereigns did not react much. They had already entered warrior mode and no longer regarded themselves as god sovereigns. Once a warrior is on the battlefield, they don't need to worry about anything else, just follow orders. As War Saint's order was issued, an invisible aura of killing began to rise. The war god fortress was filled with murderous intent. In the struggle between races, it is indeed impossible to show mercy. Just like when the 100-race allied army invaded the human race, no one survived wherever they passed. Stars collapsed, and humans and animals all perished. This is the war between races, extremely cruel and merciless. Humans have experienced painful lessons, so when the counterattack comes, the human race will not show mercy either. Kindness to others is cruelty to one's own people. War Saint returned to the command post and said to everyone, in the Land of Ultimate Bliss, as far as we know, there are 3 Buddha ancestors and 7 ancient Buddhas. Although there are also 10 people, the presence of an additional saint is advantageous to the human race. But it is also possible that the Buddhist race is hiding ancient Buddhas or Buddha ancestors. Lin Moyu knew that in addition to the human race, there was also the starry sky fish human race. Even if the Buddhist race had any hidden power, it would be crushed under the joint efforts of the 2 races. The star field occupied by the Buddhist race was not small, especially the outer area. 50,000 god sovereigns were enough to sweep through, but it was somewhat difficult to not let anyone escape. If they wanted to escape in such a large area, 50,000 god sovereigns would be overwhelmed. Therefore, the starry sky fish human race would also send a large number of people. The 2 race allied forces would completely sweep the Buddhist race and remove them from the human race. This battle was not only for the human race but also for the starry sky fish human race. Lin Moyu asked, then what do I do? Hao Saint said, do whatever you want. What does, do whatever you want, mean? Lin Moyu was a little speechless. He seemed like a superfluous person, whether he came or not made no difference. Killing Saint laughed and said, doing whatever you want means you can go wherever you want. You can fight however you want, we won't assign you any tasks. Holy Saint Hao asked, do you have any other ideas? Since things have been said to this point, what other ideas could he have? Okay, then I'll do whatever I want. There are still 5 minutes left, Holy Saint Hao said, continue. Battle Saint once again raised his head and pointed towards the star above. The light projected by the star suddenly changed, weaving out a new picture. At the same time, a large amount of information emerged. New Human Era, 56,228, Outer Blue Dragon Star Region, a Buddha of the Buddhist race fought with a starry sky behemoth, resulting in the destruction of 2 star systems and the collapse of 3 small worlds in the Blue Dragon Star Region, with a death toll exceeding 1 billion. New Human Era, 63,328, the Buddhist race preached, wanting to forcefully convert 6 geniuses of our human race at the time. After resistance, the Buddhist race killed the 6 people. New Human Era, 76,321, the Buddhist race, secretly entrusted by the demon race, assassinated 3 of our human race's god sovereigns. New Human Era, one record after another was vividly displayed. These materials are usually not visible, but the Human Emperor Network has recorded them all. The Buddhist race, which claims to be neutral, has done many things that harmed the human race over tens of thousands of years. They have repeatedly provoked the bottom line of the human race. The number of human race members who died at the hands of the Buddhist race exceeds hundreds of billions. At that time, the human race had recovered, but its strength was not strong enough, and some things were endured. The human race's principle of doing things has always been to not take action unless necessary, and once they do, they will exterminate and leave no future troubles. Now is the time to settle the score. Looking at these materials, the god sovereigns' killing intent was boiling, becoming increasingly intense. A cold light also flashed in Lin Moyu's eyes. My own grudges, the human race's debts, must all be settled this time. The last trace of pity in the god sovereigns' hearts was erased. The 5 minutes ended, and the ancient talisman lost its effect. The laws of the great world radiated in again. Battle Saint lightly shouted, "Depart." The space twisted violently, rippling like water waves. The enormous war god fortress instantly disappeared, teleporting away.